Nothing.
Solid.
Maybe we can
sure
reevaluate after we start making some money.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Is that once we see how we're doing, we might be able to reevaluate. Big Mert sent some security,
which is actually pretty convenient for we just invited a bunch of basically rival gangsters to our opening bar. Well, I was gonna say, I say we being polite, the party collective, but yes, Brutus. Brutus, he didn't know.
I can't know. You don't tell him.
Exactly.
It wasn't relevant.
I was gonna say, it's one of those, like, it is important, but it wasn't relevant to the, you know what I'm saying?
It wasn't relevant at the time. Never thought it would come up.
I was like, that was almost like some perfect writing shit, honestly.
It
like
was
some shit you would see in a comic or anime. Yeah, that's the even better part. That was all improv, but that's some shit you would see in a movie or something. Why didn't you tell me? We had to look out for that. What the? We didn't think you would just go. You know what I mean?
No, he would go to the graveyard, and it would just so happen that day they were holding the funerals for those for the family of those we killed.
Gotta love it.
Well, I didn't expect him to actually go to the City of the Dead and advertise either. But
suggested it.
No, he said one of the places he hasn't been to yet. I said, well, you haven't been in the graveyard yet. And there are other places, but...
He was like, graveyard. That sounds like a great... Grieving people? You know what they want?
The drink.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not, but...
Well, Brutus is on full-time making sure they don't bum everybody out duty. Or fight each other.
He ain't right, but his heart's in the right place.
I believe Gideon has something going on too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's on a date.
Yeah, and he tried to pull Levi into his scam.
Levi all he wanted was for him to cover for him.
Levi's not about that life. You respect your whammon, Gideon. Damn it.
Gideon's a damn coward.
Well, I'm glad someone noticed.
Gideon's a fucking cat, okay?
What's that got to do with it?
You cut him some damn slack.
Next time he's asking Marskin for help. Marskin will be like, yeah, whatever.
Pretty much just like, alright.
Okay.
Just remember,
you guys need to see this.
So I do believe that we ended up with the grand opening going on currently.
Yes.
He's just staring right at you.
Until John shows up, if he shows up.
He said he's probably not going to make it.
I will keep saying that Brutus is working, or it's hard at work making sure the grieving families he invited don't harsh to mellow.
Commit Sudoku.
It's Sudoku right there.
So again, the grand opening is still going on. It is lively. You have your stage performers. And you're all entertaining guests, I guess.
I would be partaking in the alcohol as well as entertaining guests.
I guess Marskin's the only one left on owner duty, I guess.
Fair enough. I'll just stick close
Levi's
to the bar.
drunk, Gideon's on a date, so Marskin's in charge.
I'll just stick close to the bar, I guess. Make sure everything's actually, like, being served, guests are happy.
Yeah. You act like Levi can't multitask. Have a few drinks as well as, making sure everybody's happy. He's not me. He doesn't get pissed drunk. Much.
How often does Levi drink?
More than I do. More than
That's
Kai
not a
was.
measurement.
You moved your camera.
Yes, I did.
Or did you move your desk? It's
I
hard to
moved
tell.
everything. I rebuilt my setup like completely.
Where were you?
Same spot relatively, but everything was at a different angle. Like all the monitors were over here. Now they're. But to answer, yeah, Levi has a. I guess you could say it's a drinking problem to some people. To other people, it's not a problem to him. His philosophy
Like
is
Storm.
his philosophy is alcohol abuse isn't when you spill drinks. It's when it's sitting there left not being drank.
I think one could argue both are ways of wasting alcohol. They're both abusing the alcohol.
Oh yeah.
Up to interpretation. Storm would agree.
Okay. Is there anything any of you would like to do during this grand opening?
I'm definitely going around and making sure the Xanathar and Zentharum are not, butting heads with each other. Making sure everything's like peaceful and civil between them.
Okay.
I guess Marshkin would be doing the equivalent of like
Of what? You broke out. Or you broke up.
do it of like expediting at a bar. Just making sure orders are going out, drinks are going out efficiently. I'm sure Leaf's got that part handled.
I'm sure he would get mad at you for trying.
I'm mainly worried about like food and all that stuff. That's why I said I'm sure Leaf's got the drink set. I'm sure he's pretty good at that.
Well, that's your
But
mind.
yeah,
You also do have professionals in the kitchen.
just make doing what an owner would do, expediting, making sure everything's going smooth, talking to guests, mingling, making sure people are happy. I'd probably try to find Merloon, hoping that he would have made it, but again, it's not like I'm just gonna solely be like, hey, fuck you, table of peasants, let me go talk to this guy.
You wouldn't? Damn.
No, Marskin ain't like that. I would, but
And what's Gideon doing?
Enjoying his date. Probably asks her to dance at some point after they eat.
How often does your spell work? Or how long does it work?
It works for,
Duration.
I want to say an hour. And so he'll be able to do it 2 more times. So he can do 3 hours total.
Marskin would have made sure that Gideon had like a really nice spot in the bar, and then probably brought like a nice bottle of wine over.
Marskin doesn't know that Gideon's disguised. He doesn't look like himself, and Marskin has no idea about this.
Didn't you tell all of us?
Told
Nope.
Levi. But
Morskin was not included in that conversation.
nobody was except for Levi. Because he figured that Levi was questionable.
He thought Levi would be a better accomplice than what he actually is.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, so this guy's self lasts for an hour. So I can do it 2 more times, so he can do up to 3 hours like this, but he'll have to go to, like, the bathroom
So
to refresh
you'll
it.
be disguised from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.?
Well, remember for the first hour, I was also performing up on stage, and then because I told her to meet me at 7, and then I came out and met her at 7.
Okay, so from 7 to 10.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, say at this point, it's about 8:30. Guests have been seated, taken care of. The hosts have been good hosts so far. The tavern is lively. conversations are going good. I'd say at this point, Levi is just about finishing up with that conversation with Yagra and Davril. Marskin was hanging out with Leaf at the bar. Again, Brutus is doing what he's doing with the grieving families. And Gideon's on his date.
Check about wow.
I guess
I would like all of you to give me some perception checks.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's see, does this go through? 21.
Okay, 21. Let's see what else we got.
Perception, 15.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled one
Okay.
above a failure, and you rolled one up. It's funny.
Hey, why is your perception check purple?
I don't know.
I was wondering that. It looks cool.
I do not know.
Windows Vista.
That's weird. But okay. Marston doesn't notice because he's not accustomed to it, I guess. But the other two, Sophia included, have no problems noticing that there is a bit of I guess you could say a disagreement, an argument brewing at a table not far away.
I will kind of make a big loop around, keeping an eye on the argument, and grab Marskin. Buddy, it looks like there's something going on over here. And I'll start walking in the direction I saw the disagreement in.
I guess I would follow behind him and sort of just, well, I suppose it was inevitable. This is a bar, after all.
Yeah, I mean this sort of thing happens all the time. I'm honestly kind of surprised they waited this long.
And then could we could we once we're close enough, could we see what the whole hubbub is going on or whatever?
You sure can. It is a man sitting at a table with a couple other men. You see him slam his fist on the table and get up. He says, if it wasn't for that damn Zentharum, we'd have that gold by now. And noticing his outrage, he'll look out and look around the room to see if anyone's paying attention to him.
Definitely paying attention.
Yeah.
I'll approach. Excuse me, sir, there's any issues that we could help you with?
No apologies, I tend to get heated when I'm conversing with my friends here. I have a few drinks in me. Promise it won't happen again.
Okay. Do you how about a round on the house?
I'll kind
You
of motion to Leaf, and in Elvish, could I say another round over here, please?
We want to make sure all of our patrons are happy and bellies full and livers drunk by the end of this night.
I'd be a fool to say no to a free drink. And with that, he'll sit down and anxiously wait with a smile on his face for the free drink. and it isn't long before 4 tankards float their way over to the table.
Nice.
And at that, they get back to drinking and conversing in a more polite manner.
I guess with that, I'll just look to Levi. Good eye, friend. Keep a sharp one on, or keep your head on a swivel. I meant.
Always will be. I'll raise a glass to him and clinks his.
I'll take another small sip of my wine.
Fancy. What year is that?
Oh, you know, it's just a regular 1400s. Because the year structure in 5e is like weird. I can't remember the actual year numbers.
1492 is what we're in right now.
Oh shit!
The year that Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Funny, but I guess it'd be a 1300s then. Nothing fancy.
Ooh.
At least for Morskin.
That's pretty fancy.
Yeah, this was brewed
Talking about an almost 100-year-old whale.
I mean, in a world we have like elven and dwarven wines that are like excesses of like 300, 400 years, I'd feel like a 100-year wine is like piss to them.
Yeah, but to any race that's not long lived.
Morskin is raised on the finer things of life.
Yeah. I'll continue just kind of going or perusing every once in a while. Gonna stop by the stage to make sure the lights guys are doing good. They need any drinks or refreshments after their shows.
Nefri will smile and thank you for coming over. If you're ever so inclined to bring a drink over, he wouldn't say no.
What's your drink of choice? You just want some water, or would you prefer some ale, maybe wine?
You've been doing this as long as we have. You take whatever the house is serving.
2 house specialties coming right up.
Why, thank you.
And this time I'll save Leaf the trip and I'll walk over myself, grab the drinks for him.
It's fine. You'll notice Leaf doesn't actually carry the drinks over. He more or less sends them over. It's an unseen force.
That's so weird.
Cool.
I don't know if I'll ever get used to this magic stuff.
Wink will, or Leaf will, wink at you. And continue serving drinks. Yeah, I'd say about this point, it's maybe 8:45, 8:50.
Okay.
And Sophia is deep in a story talking about something that happened at work recently.
Gideon is being very attentive, oohing and eyeing, and ain't that crazy at the right places.
Is that really attentive, though?
Damn, that's crazy.
Damn, that's crazy.
All right, so Gideon's being the guy you work with that whenever you tell him a story, he says, "Damn, that's crazy."
That's not the only thing he says. He's like actively participating, asking questions, like being attentive.
When your 10 damn that's crazy's in and they're still talking.
Yeah, I was just making a joke about, when women tell a story and men are just like, damn, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really?
Really?
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah, that is real crazy.
Well, Gideon checks his non-existent timepiece and realizes he's got a few minutes until his spell's gonna wear off.
He
He can
will
feel it in his bones.
he will excuse himself that he needs to go use the bathroom, and he'll refresh the spell before coming back out.
Pardon me, I have to empty out my one-eyed pink snake.
Sophia will giggle. You really do keep going to the bathroom, don't you?
Well, we've been drinking a lot, haven't we?
I guess we have. I figured a bard such as yourself would be better at holding his drink.
I have a tiny bladder.
Fair enough. I'll be here when you return. Don't forget about me.
Bring more drinks.
Alright, I'll order more drinks while you're gone. And with that, she'll make her way over to the bar and ask Leaf for a couple more beverages. Which he'll be happy to provide.
He's been serving him top shelf all night.
Leaf has just been throwing drinks around. None of you have ever seen a bartender this spirited at serving spirits.
Spirited
Yes.
spirits serving spirits.
When Gideon comes back out and sits back down, they start drinking, talking again. He'll mention, unfortunately, I think I might have to go soon. I have to hit the hay early. I have work tomorrow.
Aw, really? The night's so young.
I'm sorry. It's I'm already out late enough as it is. But anything for you, my dear, which is why I'm here right now. How could I say no?
He'll blush a bit and turn away. So you got a busy day tomorrow?
Indeed, lots of people to see before I have to go eventually. I will try to stick around as long as I can.
Oh. You're leaving again.
Well, not tomorrow, but by the end of the week, perhaps. I'll see what I can do.
You ever consider staying in town for a bit, longer than 2 days?
Well, arrangements would have to be made. I've thought about it. I'm thinking it may be about time.
Well, if you do, don't forget about us little people.
How could I ever?
I guess I shouldn't be staying too long either. I do have to be at work pretty early.
They overwork you.
Wouldn't say that. It's just when you're one of the best servers there, you're practically throwing away money if you're not there all hours of the day. Ain't like there's much else going on.
Well, I hope you at least take some time off, even when I'm not here, to enjoy yourself.
That's me. I don't know what else I'd be doing.
It's a big city. There's lots to do.
I don't know. I figure if I stay there long enough, maybe some charming bard will sweep me off my feet and take me to somewhere magical.
Maybe someday. And he winks at her.
Will smile back shortly. Well, I guess I should be heading off then.
Would you like me to walk you home?
And here I was thinking you'd have little old me walking all by myself.
I would never. I am a gentleman.
Well, of course you are. I know that. Just pulling your leg. I would love for you to walk me home.
Well, after you.
We gotta pay the tab here, don't we?
Oh, yes. I will be right back. And he'll go up and talk to Leaf. How much do I owe you, Leaf? He'll say in Elvish.
Leaf will smile and say, "You own the place. Why would you owe anything?"
Well, you know, I didn't want to assume. This is a business after all. Besides, I have to keep up looks. I'm going to slide you nothing, but you're going to act like I slid you money. He will do such.
That's her, huh?
What was that?
Trying to impress her, huh?
Yes, well, you must remember what that's like, huh?
It's been a few years.
Just a few, huh?
Not many undead maidens looking around for a undead man like I.
Well, I'll let you know if I come across any.
Please do.
And after pretending to hand over the money, like money, he'll go back to Sophia and begin walking her out.
He'll pretend to bow and put it into what would be the cash register. All right then, my charming bard. I guess we're out of here.
Off we go.
With that, you two will start heading towards Sophia's home. And the rest of you in the tavern, you look around, you'll see Brutus profusely working as hard as trying to keep the grieving families from thinking about their loved ones. Boasting about things he may or may not have done, and other grand stories. At this point, it's been a couple hours. Lights guys get kind of tired of performing as rigorously as they are.
After Gideon walks Sophia home, he will return, and he'll take over for the Lights guys.
Okay. I will say you walking her home and back would be about 15 minutes or so.
That's fine. And he would kiss her hand, and he made his illusion have a big beard so that the furriness wouldn't be weird.
Okay. Not bad, not bad. She'll wave Gideon off goodnight
And
with eyes longing for more.
And he'll do that thing where he like looks like he's about to say something else and then thinks better of it. And just kind of goes never mind and says the good night and leaves.
She'll cock her head for a bit, return to neutral and say, "All right, good night, Gideon. I'll see you next time I see you. Thanks for taking me out."
Always. I will perhaps try to see you again in the next couple of days.
Looking forward to it. You know, she does have a bit of a defeated tone about it. Almost as if expecting more, but being turned down.
As he's walking away, he'll kind of turn back a little. Sophia.
Yeah?
You trust me, right?
Of course.
I know I have not given you everything you deserve. And I want to, but there are some complications that I'm trying to figure out first. But I promise you, I'll tell you everything soon. Okay?
Okay. I hope you figure it all out. Good night, Gideon.
Night, my dear.
That's chill. Head inside and go to sleep.
Gideon will kind of take his time headed back to the tavern.
All right. During all that time, the rest of you losers doing. Marcia's working. Levi's drinking.
Continue. Yeah, I'm just making rounds. I may pop in with Brutus every once or offer the morning party some quick quips of comment, but other than that, no, I don't spend much time speaking to people. I'm just kind of keeping an eye, making sure everything's civil.
When Gideon gets back, he'll go upstairs, change back into his Gideon clothes, and he'll relieve the light skies.
You know, the wonderful thing about death is you only die once.
Who's Levi talking to?
It's just a random comment.
Yeah, he's just saying this to random people. I'm hoping these aren't the funeral goers, but
People gonna look at you and look away and hurry back to their table.
Mom, who's the weird
What is
man?
wrong with you?
Oh, sorry. I guess I had a few too many. I was just kind of thinking.
Well, as Gideon returns, Martin will pipe up. Thanks for returning, buddy. We thought you were gone for good.
Sorry, I had a bit of an arrangement that I couldn't get around tonight. I appreciate you picking up my slack, and I will relieve you for the rest of the night, if you wish.
The rest of the night, you know, we're performers. It's what we do.
I wasn't sure how long of a break you wanted, but as long as you wish, you can enjoy the inn and the festivities, and return whenever you wish. I'll hold the stage for now.
All right, boss, you got it. Me and the missus here are gonna enjoy the festivities then.
And Gideon will get up on stage, and this time he will pull out his hand drum and start playing a little ditty.
Are they all called
Martin
little ditties?
Yeah.
Martin will throw his arm out as if waiting for his wife to latch on. She'll roll her eyes and then latch on, and they'll walk off.
Nice.
All right, what's the Dragonborn doing? That's the time's now 9:15, 9:20. 9:25 actually. Gideon time to change clothes. At about this point, you do notice a good-sized man stumbling his way in to the bar as if he's already drunk but looking for more drinks.
It lagged for a second. Who's stumbling in?
A drunken man looking for more drinks. But you know him as Marloon War Dragon.
All right. I guess while but you know, in between me and him, making sure guests are okay. You know, hey, how are you guys doing? Hope the food's great. Hope you guys like the drinks. Good chit chat. And then you said he's already drunk, or at least he seems already drunk.
The bar.
Well, it seems you partied quite hard before you got here.
We'll look up at you and cock his head for a bit, trying to remember who you are. Alright, I know you. You're the one in that Volo group recently. What was your
Yeah,
name
that's
again?
me. Marskin Ragthraknar, at your services.
Name's too long. Yeah, cut that down.
Well, I guess Marskin is just fine.
Marky Mark.
Marky Mark.
You have to understand when you drink as much as I do, long names start becoming long slurs.
Some people just call me Markiplier. No, I'm sorry.
Marskin phases out of existence. Go ahead and make a new character.
No. I guess I would just as we're talking or while this conversation is happening, I would just try to make our way. Does he normally like sit at a table when he's at Port when he's at the yawning portal, or is he at the bar?
He usually sits at the end of the bar.
Okay, I'll find him a nice quiet spot at the bar that he can go to. If there's an open seat available, obviously.
Make a perception check.
Oh, damn. 12.
Okay. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary with him. He'll shamble his way over to where you're directing him. He'll start ordering drinks. You'll note he's ordering the strongest drink he can find.
Are you sure that's what you want, my friend? I mean, I'm sure you're quite capable of handling your alcohol, someone as stout as yourself. But it seems you've already had quite a bit tonight.
He'll quickly turn to face you. You cutting me off?
Oh, no, of course not. I would never cut off a friend. I'm just curious, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's not
All
every
right.
day you get to go to a grand opening of a new bar. He'll chuckle as he starts downing his drink.
Fair enough, friend. And I'll look to Leaf and say, this first one's on me, and I'll toss him the coin for that. Or I guess I'll just put it on the bar. I don't know if it just magically dissipates or what Leaf does with the money.
You would know the cost of your drinks, and you would slap a silver coin down.
Nice. Just one silver, you said?
Just one.
Alrighty.
I'll chuckle and say, you're a great guy.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I try as good as I can to be a good, honorable person. I would say man, but a lot of people, you're a dragonborn, you're not a man, blah, blah, blah,
You've got man parts, don't you?
Well, of course, I mean...
You're a man to me, then.
I hear that.
A damn fine one.
And with that, I'll kind of clink my wine glass against his glass and drink with him.
It isn't long until he's slamming that flagon down and waving down Leaf to get a refill.
I guess at that point I'll kind of go back to after I've talked to him and whatnot, we've had our merriment. I'll go back to just kind of managing the bar / just the customers, I guess. But I'll kind of make my way over to Leaf and I'll whisper to him like, "Hey, kind of water down the drinks for him, if you know what I mean. He's already a little... Well, let's just say he's drinking like a dwarf in the body of a man. We all know that doesn't work well, huh, Leaf?" I'll say all this in Elvish.
Leaf will look to you. Yeah, I know the type. I've already been watering his drinks as he's been going. At this point,
That's
you
my
can't even
man.
tell.
That's my man, a great bartender through and through.
this point, I need all three of you to make a perception check.
Perception. Hey, 18. Slowly getting better.
Yeah, 18.
I rolled another 15.
Well, you all have
wait.
no problem seeing the doorway.
Kaylee has a
And
dice cam now.
As you look at the doorway, you'll notice a familiar figure walking in. He's not overly tall. Human male. Bald and covered in tattoos that look like eyes.
Oh, fuck.
You said he's familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Is this the guy we let go from the sewers?
Wow, he does sound familiar to you, doesn't he?
I was just about to say, as soon as he said covered in eyes, I was like, oh, fuck. Is he... Since we all notice him, does he look... what's the word? I guess at least amicable? Or is he, like... Is he here for business? You know what I'm saying?
You look at him and your first glance of him doesn't look like he's looking for something. Looks like he's for somewhere to sit and drink. If you had to guess, he seems like he's here just to enjoy the festivity.
I guess
Although
just for our
you
peace
guys are
sake,
not the only one to notice him.
I guess for our peace sake, who would be closer to him, me or Levi? Because I'm still at the bar area.
I'd say you're at the bar, so out of you three, Levi would be the closest. Because the stage is not far from the bar.
If Levi hasn't already, like began to go and engage him, then I would kind of, like, try to get Levi's attention and, like, not overtly, like, I don't want it to be completely obvious, but, like, point towards the new entrant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, have him lead him to a table and all that stuff. Make sure he's good.
Well, probably not noticing Marskin, I will walk over and, well, hello, welcome to the Flying Flagon. Glad to see you could join us today. Can I interest you in a drink, a seat? We have a good table over here.
You'll see him stumble back at seeing you. This is your place?
It is. I'm more of a silent owner.
Are you really okay with me being here?
It would be our pleasure.
Money's money.
He's gonna whisper in, I haven't forgotten what your buddy said. He said he'd want to see me again, otherwise he'll pantomime the gun.
I'll, come here, go a little closer. He is upstairs, but he's upstairs in his laboratory, and he rarely leaves, so I think you'll be fine.
Well, if I have your blessing on it, then I would love to see the new place.
If Grandpa comes downstairs, we'll tell him to go upstairs and whittle.
Well, thank you. I won't forget that.
And well, if you want, come with me. I'll show you a or a little niche that we've got going on, and I'll walk him over to the bar. And I can't speak Elvish, so actually I can speak Elvish. Ha! Yes, perks of reading your character sheet.
Brutus was the one that couldn't speak Elvish.
It's literally just Brutus who can't.
I'll walk him over to Leaf, and Leaf, we've got a friend here. Make sure his drinks are on point.
Leaf will cock his head. On point. Is that some new slang that's come about?
Maybe I just made a thing. You and I, Leaf, we made a thing. How about that?
Well, no matter, I'll try to understand what on point is.
Good man. Spirit. Anyway.
that, he'll try to read your meaning for that, and he'll take care of your buddy there.
Okay. Oh god, I hope he doesn't poison the drinks. Then there will be 2 specters.
I don't know if he'd become a specter or not. There's a couple stipulations usually for becoming a specter.
Gideon at this point would have swapped to the Sham to give his hands a break.
Alright, at this point, Gideon swaps up his instrument and begins performing a different ditty. Maybe
I call this
tune.
one Ditty number 3.
Ditty number 3. He's fucking ham boning at this point.
Hey, ham boning's an art. Don't shit on ham boning.
Ham boning's gonna save your life one day. Regular show. Watch it.
No, I refuse.
It's aight.
But you guys will you'll see that the bar is running pretty well. A good bit of gold flowing in. Everyone seems happy. No issues.
Is it about 10 o'clock yet? Like the time we would close down the kitchen area or whatever?
We're closing at 10?
No, the
Damn,
kitchen area
closing
though.
early.
Hell no.
You know what? You gonna make the chefs stay there and fucking cook until goddamn midnight?
He's only been here since 6.
Well,
I
since
don't
we're
know
on
what
the
bar
subject,
keeps their fucking
what-
shit open until midnight.
what time did you want to close on your grand opening?
I'd say
Well, like,
midnight is a good
I would
time.
say the whole bar area probably about midnight or around like 1 or 2 in the morning. Last call.
Yeah, I'd say food is done by 11 p.m. and
That's
then
fair.
drinks done by like 2 a.m. That seems
That's
like
what I was thinking.
that
Like
sounds
1
like
or
when bars
2.
close.
Yeah, 1 p.m. be like
Tell us-
last call. You know what I'm saying?
But
And then
tell us,
2 we
Kyle.
close.
That's your profession. Tell us what's the average times for closing time and last call.
Last call usually is around 1, and they give you an hour to get your last calls in. So final drinks can be served at 1:58, and then most of the time they're actually kicking people out by 2:30. And then food, depending on the establishment, like some establishments will actually carry food all the way up until last call, such as like Buffalo Wild Wings or something like that. Or but smaller bars usually will quit food maybe about 2 hours before last call. So 11.
Well,
I got it
your guys'
right.
tavern, so I'll let you choose how you want to run that.
I mean,
You can put it
sounds
to
like
a
good
vote.
timing to me.
So food closes at 11, drinks stop at 2.
Yeah.
Wow, that sucks.
What?
Imagine coming in at 11 and wanting something to eat, and they say, "Sorry, we just closed the diner."
We could
Sorry, bub.
do like midnight, like food up till midnight.
You guys
Sorry,
ever make your
bub.
way into an Applebee's at midnight and want something to eat?
No.
I've been there before.
I've been
Midnight quesadillas at Applebee's are great.
I don't know. I feel like we need to talk about this. Like, I feel like maybe our bar would be more of an evening thing. Like, doesn't open until late and then it stays open late.
We're
Like, we don't really
missing
do breakfast.
we're missing a very crucial point.
Hmm.
How late is Leaf willing to serve? Because if he's like if he's a spirit and
Leaf
doesn't
get tired.
exactly, so he could
We could do drinks all night.
yeah. I mean that's
True.
And is he okay?
The problem with that is we still need like security all night, and we would need like a skeleton staff at least in the
Yeah, skeleton crew. You guys want to get some undead going? You've already got a ghost bartender.
You know, that
Not a bad
actually
idea.
wouldn't be that Just imagine a whole bunch of fucking specters running this fucking bar.
Leaf, do you know? We could be like, Leaf, do you have any friends?
Are you like the only specter in town, or do you know some guys?
How do we make more? Better question. How do we make more of you? I'm pretty sure I can find a few patrons that I can just, in the middle of the night.
That's a little inappropriate.
I will say, this is a little off topic. About 10:30, 10:45 or so, Levi wants to gather up. While Gideon has a break, he wants to gather up Marskin, Gideon, and Brutus, and take them all outside while he has his evening smoke, just for quick chit chat of the owners.
No one else smokes. They don't want to hang out with you while you're smoking.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I need company.
That depends. Does your character smoking like the marijuans, or is this just like tobacco?
This is tobacco.
Oh,
There are no
Marskin's down.
weeds he is smoking.
Yeah, Marskin's down.
He's smoking
from a pipe.
tobacco, not the wacky tobacco.
Gideon refuses to go
Marskin smokes
anywhere
from a
near
pipe.
you guys while you're smoking. I will never get the smell out of my fur.
So
That's fair.
Sophia rounds the corner. I'm fucking with you. So okay, you guys are hanging outside.
Well, what do you guys?
You've been gathered there.
How does the opening go for you guys? It seemed like a lot of fun from where I was standing.
Seems to have gone very well.
The money seems to be flowing pretty well, so no complaints here. We've avoided any conflict so far.
Well, now the real question is if we can maintain it.
Yes, I hope so.
Opening night will be very different from any other night. Unless we are very, very good.
I don't think maintaining it is going to be that much of an issue because it seems like you and Brutus did a amazing job getting the staff for everything. And
I meant maintaining customers.
Well, if I know one thing is when sad people come to drink and they enjoy the environment, they usually come back. So I think we've established a few regulars at the very
great.
least.
Elaborate on that.
Huh?
But the
There's
depressed.
a voice in your head. Do elaborate on that.
What do you mean?
What do you mean by that?
So we're just a very depressing bar then? Is that what we are going for?
No. The morning party. They'll be back.
Interesting. Do carry on.
Oof.
Well,
I forgot what I was gonna ask.
Everything seems to have worked out, but we'll have to see. I know Leaf. We'll have to talk to Leaf to see if he wants to serve drinks all night, and we have to talk to the cooks to see how late they're willing to stay to serve food.
I'm not sure if there's any real spells for it, but the whole time while I'm smoking out of a pipe, could I be doing like Gandalf style like shapes with the smoke as I blow them out?
Probably prestidigitation.
Shut up. There's a spell for it. It's called prestidigitation.
Oh, I do not have that. I will later, though. Thank you for the knowledge, DM.
Sorry.
You're a spellcaster that didn't take prestidigitation?
Fuck no, not at first level. I'm a sorcerer. I only get so many spells.
Oh, right. You're not a wizard.
Nope. What do I take prestidigitation for? Like Marskin would get his clothes dirty so that they would need cleaning. What is he, a peasant? Come on.
Well, hopefully we can maintain a steady flow of income
Yeah.
if we are if we are a 24-hour bar because of Leaf. That's the advantage of having a ghost bartender.
I mean, I guess we could have a 24-hour bar, but we would certainly need staff, as we can't be here 24 hours.
Indeed. I'll
Not
have
to mention the time we need to sleep.
Well, obviously, as the owners, we don't have to be around 24/7. What do you guys think? Should we just try with normal hours and then go to 24 hours if everything goes well? Once we
Sounds like the best move for me.
we have an established staff, know we can trust people.
Play it safe, as they say.
That'll work for me as well. How did your date go, Gideon?
It went well, thank you.
Good.
Date?
Yeah. He didn't tell you?
No, this is the first I'm hearing of Gideon having any sort of date.
Shame, Gideon. Shame. Not involving everyone.
Yes, well, clearly that was a mistake with you, so why would I involve anybody else?
I don't think it was a mistake. Honesty is never a mistake.
I will tell her when I'm ready.
So you didn't tell her.
Morgan's so confused right now.
I'll let you explain to the wise man. Maybe he can give you a little bit of big brain insight.
I was actually planning to pick his brain, since it seems like he may be able to relate a little bit more to my situation than you. That will be a private conversation, though, if you don't mind, Marskin. We can talk later.
Oh, I mind.
And I will fill you in.
What? I'm not I'm not cool enough to be in this party.
I just don't think you would understand, and your opinions would be relevant.
You're a piece of shit. Leave me alone.
I just want you to know, Gideon, I felt that one. Right here.
I felt that one. Morgan is sitting here just fucking smoking out of his dumbass Gandalf pipe, just enjoying the fucking juice and the tea.
You have no idea what they're even talking about.
Yeah.
Nope.
What kind of tobacco do you have in there, Moskin?
Oh, just some fine stuff from around the oh shit, I'm forgetting the name now. Where's Lunkin them from? Neverwinter. From the Neverwinter area.
Funny. Do you know
What's that?
Did you happen to get this from the Dock District?
I did.
Do you mind if I
hand him the pipe, and I guess my still lit, the long matches that a lot of that they used to use back in the days, the slow burning matches. Hand you that while it's still lit, guarding it from the wind.
I would like to point out that this entire conversation, Gideon's been 10 feet away, holding his paw over his nose.
I'll take a long drag and this really is nice. Much better than the common stuff I've got here. But, it serves its purpose. I don't need anything extravagant, especially when I go through so much.
Ah, yes, I understand. Sometimes the nice flavors just calm you down a little bit, you know?
Hey, Moskin, do you want to try to blow smoke on the cat?
Let's see who can get it closest.
Okay.
I feel like in unison we both blow like fat smoke rings right towards Gideon.
Gideon turns around and walks back in. Of the building. If that is all.
Damn.
It's a quick cat.
His tail is lashing.
Clearly pissed. Not okay.
I think we pissed off
All
the
right,
cat.
Gideon returns to the festivities. It's just you two out there with your drinking or your smoking party.
At that, I guess Levi and I would just, enjoy some, just small talk, finishing our drinks and our smokes real quick, and then go back inside, make sure everything is all good. Unless there's anything specifically you wanted to say, Levi.
No, I actually really just wanted to make sure, kind of take a look up and down the street. See if there's anybody or any new patrons coming to or from, and kind of we would be standing like maybe about 5 feet or 5-6 feet away from the door, so that way people coming out wouldn't get smoke in their face. But just want to like as people leave, just bye, have a wonderful night.
Bye, have a beautiful time.
But yeah, after a while we'll go back in.
Okay. No, it is just Marskin out there.
Oh, well, I would have gone in with Levi. We finished our smokes and whatnot.
All right. You guys head your way back in. I'd say at this point, it's maybe 10 or so. And the party is still going strong.
Honestly, I think for opening night, maybe we should let it go as long as they want. Once it starts dying down, then we can close it up.
That doesn't seem like a bad idea.
Wouldn't want to miss out on any money. They'll just go somewhere else to continue the party.
Fair enough.
And Gideon will mingle with the guests a little this time, since he hasn't been able to do that.
Okay. Hmm.
After, I want to say like 30, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour, depending on how talkative the guests are, mingling, he'll go back to the stage and join in with the light skies again, this time on the horn.
Okay. And you would notice shortly after you left, they did take the stage back.
He was assuming.
When we re-enter, does anything seem out of the ordinary? Everything's still going fine?
I don't know. Make me a perception check.
May I join
I
in
can
this?
do that.
Yeah, anyone that feels like they want to investigate the room can make a perception check.
A 10, 7. Oh, let's go.
I
Gideon.
rolled another 15.
Yeah, Gideon.
Third 15. 3 rolls tonight, all of them 15s. These are like glass dice. I wonder if I need to like roll it differently or something. Yeah, it was a 15. Gideon's just kind of cursory, keeping an eye out while he's playing on stage.
Well, you'll all notice nothing's going on. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Dope.
And you'll remember there is the security both outside and inside at this point. It seems Big Mert was very intent on making sure you guys had no issues.
Oh, yeah?
Thank you, Big Mert.
We'll just assume the pay for security is coming out of that 30% we're giving him.
Well.
Yeah. Gideon will continue playing on and off throughout the night, taking over when the light skies want to break, playing with them sometimes, other times mingling with the crowd.
As you're playing with them, you will feel like it's easier to perform when you're on stage with them, as if they're inspiring you to be better.
I'll inspire them
Very
back.
easy. It's very easy to fit in with them.
Now you guys just have an inspiration circle going.
Mm-hmm.
Inspiration circle jerk.
I'd say this hour rolls along with no problems. Come 11:30, you'll see some people are starting to make their exit. Not everyone, but mainly the grieving families are taking their leave at this point.
I'll just say some cordial goodbyes to them as they walk out the door and all that stuff. I guess I'd also clean off some of the tables that they were sitting at and whatnot.
We have help for that, but I'm sure they wouldn't mind the assistance.
Yeah. Levi's.
You'll see it.
I was just going to say, Levi's not about the help doing it as well. So I'll pick up helping out Marskin.
You'll see a few bar wenches come out with rags ready to wipe the tables and kind of be dumbfounded seeing the owners being so willing to clean it themselves.
Let's give a nice smile to the bar wenches, and I'm terribly sorry. I just figured I'd get it cleaned up right away. You never know if another customer comes in.
Imagine how easy it would be if you had the prestidigitation cantrip.
If only.
Imagine having Mage Hand to have it wipe the table for you.
I almost want to. I want Mage Hand now. DM, can I have Mage Hand as rogue?
No, you're not a wizard.
Damn it.
Actually, there is a thing you can take that gives you Mage Hand as a rogue.
Yeah, Arcane Trickster, I know.
It is Trickster that gives it to you? Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Not the playstyle you're going for.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
But you fellows have no problems cleaning that table. It's almost as if you've done it before. At least one of you.
Clean the fuck out of that table. With Levi's help.
We're just double teaming a table.
And what time did you guys want the last call for the kitchen to be? Midnight?
Midnight.
Yeah, we'll do that at midnight. The chef's got to sleep and do their own stuff.
Well, midnight rolls around. Chef makes his way out of the kitchen. Shouts out, "Last call for kitchen. Do you want to get some of the fixins? You better call it now."
As he says this, it dawns on Levi that he hasn't eaten all fucking day, and his stomach is a grumbling. So I'll go back and, you mind making just a small plate for me real quick?
He was so worried about the grand opening, he didn't even eat before we opened the bar.
Nah, you made the mistake of worrying about everybody but yourself, huh?
Uh-oh. The cats are rabble-rousing!
Oh, snaps.
Wow.
Port's like, this is my box.
This is mine.
Oh. Oh.
Chef will smile and slap together a nice meal for you, whatever you want.
What do we have at our bar? Cheeseburgers?
Cheeseburger? Question mark.
That's why I'm like, what does a medieval bar serve?
Turkey legs, which reminds
Is
me,
gubbins acceptable?
I made
Meat.
some delicious turkey legs the other day.
Did you?
You guys can look up gubbins. That's what we should sell. Exclusive gubbins. Gideon would love it.
Around 1 o'clock in the morning, Gideon will let the Light Skies know they can leave if they want, or they can stay for the last hour. It's up for them.
It's a long haul, boss.
I was hoping you would say that.
It's not every day we perform as a grand opening act. We'll take what we can get.
All right. Let's have a strong ending.
Of course.
With it starting to dwindle a little bit and responsibility starting to leave his shoulders, Levi's going to start drinking a little bit heavily. To a point of inebriation.
Been waiting for this.
All right, you take the inebriated condition.
Poison?
Is that a real condition?
I'm not telling you what it is. I'm just telling you you have a condition on you.
Okay.
You are inebriated.
Standing front row in front of Nidus, sorry, the Lights guys and Gideon, and like, yeah! Woo! I love Diddy number 4! Woo-hoo-hoo!
Your charisma raises, but you have a terrible way of showing it.
Oh gosh. I just kind of look at Gideon with like a questioning look, like, is this okay?
Gideon shrugs as he continues to play.
Doing my classic, don't know how to dance, just kind of like.
Yes.
You start dancing the Cabbage Patch in front of everyone else.
I need Kyle to get up and do it right now. I need a reenactment of what your character is doing right now.
I gave you what I can give. Do you see how much space I have right here? I don't have enough space to do that. I will break something. Like all this space back here, I will break something.
Bro, cringe, you're posting in the wrong channel.
Oh no.
Who posted in the wrong channel?
I did.
No. We do need a cringe channel.
I don't want that. I don't want to know what that would entail.
We already have a cringe channel, Kyle. We don't need one here.
We need to spread the love.
I wish I could find a gif of like that one lady that had the like the hip hop dancing videos on YouTube back in the day.
Oh god, that chick.
Is anyone else ordering during last call?
There, I'll post it on the right channel. We'll get it
No,
started.
Gideon ate earlier on his date.
I'll poke my still inebriated and eating, I'll poke my head out of the behind the kitchen and Moskin, you gotta try these. Freaking delicious. Woo!
Why are you in the kitchen? That poor kitchen staff.
What is he even eating at the moment?
I don't know. He told me it was mystery meat. I don't know what's so mysterious about it because it tastes damn good. Mm-hmm.
Maybe they should just call it good meat.
Damn good meat.
There you go. That would sell like hotcakes.
Look over at the chef. Ooh, do you guys have hotcakes?
Oh, god damn it.
We got biscuits.
Biscuits, yes.
Is there a reason you waited so late to order all this?
Oh, well, no.
Gideon, having seen Levi disappear into the kitchen for an extended period of time, takes pity, excuses himself from the light skies, and says he has a situation to handle, and goes back into the kitchen. Levi,
I would hand
Huh?
Gideon like a tray with a bunch of like
maybe you want to
tankards on it.
go eat up in your room? Or at the bar? You're bothering the kitchen staff. They are trying to close.
We're having a wonderful conversation
Oh.
about biscuits.
I would have handed Gideon
You're
a
being
tray with
that guy.
drinks for the kitchen staff.
You've handed him what?
A tray with like drinks for the kitchen, a round of drinks for the kitchen staff since Levi is back there fucking terrorizing them.
Oh, Marskin had me bring these to you. Thought you might need a drink after dealing with this one.
What?
Since you're closing and all.
You'll see the staff try to coyly say thanks, but you can see in their eyes they want those drinks.
Please, after all your hard work, it's the least we can do. I know you're already being paid by the guild, but this is on us.
Before you can finish, they crowd you and grab those drinks.
Nice.
I'll raise
They
my
thank-
tankard like,
They thank you with their
yeah.
eyes.
Just let me and Marskin know if Levi's bothering you too much. He'll say to the chef.
Yeah, you got it. I'm used to this kind of attention late night. Something about that drink just makes you hungry.
It's this delicious food that makes me hungry.
Alright, I'm going to get back to the stage. Any requests from the kitchen?
Ditty number 4!
He looks to the rest of them.
They'll shrug. I guess Giddy number 4.
Yeah!
Alright then. You'll go back up to the light skies, and after they finish their current tune, he'll say there's been a request for Diddy number 4, whatever that is.
Martin will look at you. Ah, Giddy number 4, huh?
Levi demands it. So
He'll look to his wife. They're asking for Giddy number 4. With that, she'll sigh and get ready for Giddy number 4 again.
it's not Giddy, it's Diddy.
It's Giddy now. We've changed it.
Fucking
He's
drunk
that
ass
drunk.
Levi.
He's that drunk. Getting number 4. I noticed that. I just didn't want to say anything.
With that, Martin will bellow out the opening notes to Diddy number 4.
Gideon will join in.
That's when Levi slams down his plate and or looks at it for a second. Shit, and then scrapes off the food into or the rest of the food to the trash can, washes the dish real quick, and then runs out. And that's when he starts dancing in front.
I feel like he doesn't even like get to the stage. He just runs just out of the kitchen and just starts dancing in the back.
Yeah, that's basically it. You know, dance walking like, yeah, I'm going to the front row. Yeah.
Oh, so you're like that guy at the rave, like when the drugs kick in.
You'll see Levi appear from the doorway, already dancing, preemptively making his way down the way towards the dance floor.
He's the guy at the rave, and the shrooms just kicked in.
The sad part is I know exactly what that's like. Ugh.
I bet you do, Kyle. I bet you do.
That's not. Kyle was saying
I miss
that.
those
Levi
days.
was.
I miss those days.
I can't incriminate myself.
It's fine. Discord's always listening.
Yeah, my
It's
FBI.
streaming it, I thought.
That's okay. This is all role playing.
Yeah, I'm playing.
You're not Kyle right now. You're Levi Harag.
Yeah, I'm role playing. Yeah.
You don't know Levi's backstory? Discord? Sorry, I don't know what that was.
That was
Levi
some of his
has
dance
no
moves.
problems. Levi has no problems making his way to what you'd call the dance floor. Although Levi does that weird thing where you stand just right outside the dance floor but don't actually get on the dance floor.
Oh no!
Aww.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys.
Hell yeah.
And you dance away to Diddy number 4. And it's a banger. It's a bop. And you see Nefri Light Sky dancing along. Her dress making all the musical notes you love in Diddy 4.
Yeah.
In fact, she even reaches an arm out towards Levi.
I will take it.
Alright, and with that, she leads you through the dance. And I want to make you roll a performance check, but I'm not going to make you do it.
No.
Do
You know
it.
you're aware. Fuck it. Performance check.
Okay.
At disadvantage.
Do you want a disadvantage because I'm drunk?
At disadvantage because you're inebriated, yes.
Ah, that was perception.
That's what the inebriated does to you.
But it cancels
Oh.
out because you can't help but feel inspired by the music.
Okay.
Okay, 18. Dope.
You have no problems following along because she is a great teacher. And you know your way around the dance because it's your favorite ditty, played all throughout the Forgotten Realms. As if all bards must learn ditty number 4. So you know this song no matter where you go.
It's actually how they teach most bards. Ditty number 4.
You gotta learn the basics before you can make your own songs, so presenting ditty number 4 yet again.
I love it here.
Encore.
You follow along almost perfectly. Levi has no problems moving his hips, and you all are in awe at how well he performs.
I wish somebody else was here to see this.
If you guys didn't know better, you thought Levi was a professional dancer, not a rogue. But you guys will remember a famous saying that warriors make the best dancers.
Not only am I proficient at stealing people's money, I am also proficient at stealing their undergarments with my moves.
Oh, gross.
Martin cheers along, but Vesri does not.
Oh.
It hits too close to home for her.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oof.
Oops, I'm sorry.
She misses the ditty number 4.
Gideon will allow the light skies to continue playing while the next round of music he'll go down and he'll dance with Levi.
All right, and with that, Martin boldly takes the lead and starts performing.
Opens into a
You guys
blistering
all
solo.
start dancing.
Well, it's like Levi said, the responsibility's lifting, there's less people in here, less pressure.
Marskin's just
End of the
chilling at the
night.
bar still.
As he's dancing with Levi, he goes, Levi, go get Marskin. You think you could convince him to dance with us?
I've got just the move. I'll walk over.
Oh God!
And I'll do the shimmy over to Marskin, and like as I get close, I'll make eye contact with him, finger guns, and then walk over a little bit more. And as I get close, I'll just turn around and start wiggling my hips in front of him, just like, "You gonna join us, my handsome dragon friend? Come on, let's go. Don't say no. Don't think.
Look at Leaf for a second.
Leaf, come on."
Gideon has already managed to grab Brutus and drag him to the dance floor.
Brutus has no problems following. He is glad you asked. In fact, he's wondering what took you so long.
Not only am I
dance whenever you want.
Not only am I Troll's Bane, I am also the dance floor's Bane.
I guess if everybody else is doing it,
yeah, I'll show you a few moves.
Marskin will jump in and also do the time warp. Oh wait, sorry, wrong movie.
We're all just like, what kind of dance is that? Never seen that one before.
This is the traditional dance of my people. What do you mean?
I can honestly see Marskin, his form of dancing is just him moving his tail. Like, you know how some people just stand in the crowd and go like...
The little finger wave, yeah, little head bob finger wave.
But he's doing that with his tail.
I think he's tapping his foot, moving his head, and moving his tail.
Yeah. Marskin is not the dancing type. But I guess, having had a few cups of wine and enjoying the merriment, eventually he will actually start to, shittily dance with the group.
Once we get a few drinks in him.
All right, at this point, the whole party has taken a couple drinks here and there, and they are enjoying the music.
At some point, towards the end of the night, Gideon he'll go back up on stage, take up his instrument, and insist Martin and Vestry go and dance.
Martin's kind of taken aback. All right, if you say so.
I can handle it from here. You guys deserve to have a little last bit of fun before the end of the night.
We'll appreciate it. We'll show you how you really cut up a rogue out here.
I insist. And with that,
you'll see Martin hold a hand out to his wife, who will then grab and they'll head out to the dance floor. And the dance floor will part ways to let them in. And they perform outstunningly. The rest of the crowd's trying to keep up with them, but good luck keeping up with a professional dancer.
I'm trying to keep the drool from forming at the corner of my mouth. I'm kidding. That's not
Levi, I thought you were taken.
That doesn't mean that... Yeah, I am. But when you have a beautiful woman in front of you, you have to notice it. There's nothing wrong with noticing it. It's when you do something about it.
Martin, slightly out of breath, will say, "You can look, but you can't touch, boy," and chuckle.
Wouldn't even think of it, sir.
And with every move they make is another There's another shimmer of music with Vestry's outfit shaking about. And what few people are still hanging out in the bar, I'd say about 90% of them make their way out to the dance floor and they all start joining in. And so now the whole bar is turned into an impromptu dance party.
Yes! Gideon is dancing while he plays. I'd like to point that out.
Even Leaf is shuffling along as he's pouring drinks. And you can swear if you hear coming from the kitchen, all the sounds sound rhythmic as if they're going along to the beat.
How about upstairs right above me? The laboratory's right above me, isn't it?
You could make it out, but you hear what sounds like a little gnome foot tapping. Definitely too stoic to come down, but you could definitely hear that he's listening to the music.
Aw. Did anybody bring him any food?
None of you have.
No, he's capable.
He'd come down if he was hungry, right?
Yeah, he would have come down if he was hungry. Did gnomes even get hungry?
None of you have seen Oz today.
It would have been easy to lose him in the crowd.
Or if you did, really didn't notice it. You weren't looking for a little tuft of hair amongst the crowd. But I'd say it's about midnight now, and after the animated dance, people are feeling pretty worn out now. And so people start cashing out. And I'd say by 12:30, 12:35, your tavern is empty, save for your employees and yourselves.
Well, that's a successful night.
The rest of the party stands silently.
I do
All
believe
right.
it was. That was a lot of fun. Especially when you guys played Diddy number 4. That was a really good one. That was probably the best one that I've ever heard.
He's gonna put a giant paw over Levi's face, covering his mouth. And he's going to address the rest of the staff, and he's going to say, "We appreciate all of your hard work throughout the night. So it's very successful thanks to all of you. We could not have done it without you. And we hope to see you back for many more days after this."
Any longer, I'm gonna get a hairball, Gideon.
You'll see the lights guys take a bow. You'll see your chef take a very grandiose bow. Your barmaids make a curtsy. There's a general mood of success around all of your employees. Smiles all around.
Perhaps one last round of drinks for the night leave. For everybody. For a job well done.
You'll see Leaf laugh a hearty laugh. It's been ages since I've been able to run a bar again. What the hell. One last round to close out our opening.
Hurrah!
Hurrah!
You'll see him pour out drinks for everyone, including himself.
Can he drink?
And as you make your toast, everyone raises a mug to drink, including Leaf, but the drink just spills to the floor.
The barmaids give him the evil eye.
And Leaf chuckles. Yeah, I forgot. Guess I'm not able to really taste these things anymore.
Well, we'll have to figure out a way around that for you.
One day. But being able to talk again feels great, so baby steps.
Well, you can thank our friend, who was it, Volo, for that?
Yep, maybe he's got something that he can give you that'll help you drink again. Because I know I like drinking, and I would hate to not be able to drink anymore.
Maybe for the best for you, Levi, if that were the case.
You're not my mom.
He looks himself up and down. I sure hope not.
My mom was a beautiful lady. Don't you badmouth her.
I did not say anything.
That's right. She's great.
Well, congratulating everybody and, thanking them and stuff until, everybody kind of makes their way home.
I'd say it isn't shortly after 1 before the staff has finished making the area spotless, all the cleaning's done, all the chores are done, and they all start making their way home.
As they start leaving, like, wait, do they come back or do we have to, like, rehire them all over again?
They come back. We have them for 10 days. And if we're doing well, then I go back to the guilds and I pay them more money, and these wonderful people keep coming back.
Sounds like a plan.
He pats Levi on the head. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go smoke again, and then I'm gonna go to bed.
Seems
What's
like
everybody else doing?
Well, if Levi's outside, Gideon's gonna ask Marskin if he can have a chat,
Of course.
and he'll lead Marskin upstairs to his room.
Yeah. It doesn't take long before you guys make it to the room.
All right. So, in regards to what Levi was talking about earlier, and my date, you and I, we are not so different in that we are both strange looking around these parts. Yes, very
Well,
unusual. Get a lot of weird looks. Don't really fit in with the pink skins.
that's to say the least.
So I thought you might be a good person to ask for advice about this, since Levi was fucking useless. Um, so I asked Levi for help earlier this night because I have a lady friend that I have been courting. The complicated part is I met her when I was goofing around disguised as a human. And I may have kept the charade up a little too long, and it's a little too late to back out of. So whenever I see her, she thinks I am human, and she does not know I am this, and I am scared
So,
to
so
tell
now
her.
you're afraid if you reveal your true self to this person, they might leave you or something.
Well, I mean, I'm not exactly the handsome man human she thinks I am.
Oh, come on. You're a good-looking cat person.
The backseat.
Like humans are gonna know what our species are called.
I'm just afraid that yeah, I don't know. I know I can't keep lying to her. It's not fair. And I want to tell her, but selfishly, I don't want to. I'm afraid that it will end when she knows, and that I will never see her again.
That is quite the predicament you've put yourself in.
Yes, well, I'm great at that, aren't I?
Well, if I had to be honest with you, my advice would be maybe at some point, you don't have to do it immediately or anything, but maybe at some point, if you truly trust this person and care for this person, then and you hope that they trust you and care for you as well, then, well, if you reveal the truth to them and if they truly care for you, then they will continue to care for you. Hopefully they will understand your slight fear, cowardice, whatever it may be that drove you to do this.
Stupidity.
That too.
My kind have not always been widely accepted. It depends on where I am, I suppose. Where I'm from, we're not that unusual. Waterdeep, I haven't seen many of my own kind around, which is
I know
fine,
what you mean
and
about that.
I'm fine with that. It does not bother me, except with her. I don't know how she will react. But I know that I am not giving her everything I could be.
Well, as I said, if you truly trust and care for this person, then I guess you sort of owe it to them to tell them the truth, and you just have to hope that they care for you as well. And let's be honest, if they just simply stop caring for you because you're not a human like they are, well, that says more about them than it does about you, doesn't it?
I know you speak truth. I suppose that I don't want her to change the way she sees me, or me to change the way I see her, whichever way it would end up, if not both.
That's understandable.
I just am not sure a good way to tell her. Like, what do? You just walk up and you say, "Oh, by the way, I've been lying to you about my fucking race. I actually am covered in fur. Sorry I didn't tell you."
Well, maybe not exactly like that, but at some point, if the moment strikes true to you, then maybe you could see how she would feel if you might look different, and she might laugh it off or something as a silly joke, and then you take off your mask and you actually do look different, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And just be sure to tell them, it's not that you meant to lie to them, and that you do truly care for them.
Here's an idea. What if you were to go to where she works and talk to her and see what her reaction would be talking to somebody who looks so different?
Like, I'm sorry, hold on.
Testing the waters for me. I mean, I could do it myself, I suppose, but I'm afraid Sophia's very smart, and I'm afraid that she might figure out something that is it was me. I don't know. She knows me a little too well, and as good as I am at putting on other faces, it would feel weird doing it to her. Because, well, I haven't particularly specifically lied to her face. Uh, Up until now, everything I've told her about myself is true, with the omission of my race. And I wouldn't want to go up to her and actively lie.
Of course. So basically, you would like me to go to her place of work or something and see how she would react to a non-human.
Perhaps.
Does this mean you would also like me to put the schmooze on this lady?
I don't think that will be necessary.
He kind of like slicks back his non-hair that he doesn't have because he's a dragonborn, and just, that's good, because I'm not sure if you know this, but I'm quite the ladies' man.
I noticed. The ladies were just all eyes were on you all night.
Marskin, who rarely ever leaves his lab or his house.
I don't know, is that a good idea to have you go there? Or should I?
Well, I mean, what is her place of work? I'm not walking in anything weird, am I?
No, she works at an inn in town.
Simple enough. Have her pour some drink, serve some food, might try to interest her in some small talk.
Perhaps, well, I'm sure you won't have to lie. You could just talk about yourself and how you are part of this group. Just don't mention that Gideon is Gideon.
Part of this group, like part of the famous Volos group? Has she heard of us or something? Are we
Yes,
really that famous?
she did actually hear about us.
Huh. Who would have known slunking through some sewers would get you that much fame?
Indeed, I was surprised myself. But yes, she does know of the famous adventurers apparently who saved Volo's friend. So you will not have to lie. Just don't mention that the Gideon she knows is the Gideon you know, or at least try to skirt around it.
All right.
I appreciate it, friend. I know we've not known each other long, but if you in the bar together, who else can I trust?
You can always count on me.
Can't exactly ask Gideon to do this, as he is a human, and he is judging me.
Understand?
Well, whenever you see fit, and he will relay the information of where Sophia works.
Alrighty. He will make a note of her place of work in his little address book. No. And then I guess at that point Marshkin will just make his way to his room. Make sure his lab is still locked up good, and then go to his room. In the attic.
At some point in the conversation, you can hear Levi like singing downstairs, ditty number 4, off key terribly.
Remixing it to Ditty number 6.
Yeah, and then the singing will trail into the bar and then upstairs, coming down the hall, and then once he gets into his room, it'll kind of just slowly stop.
Ditty number 4.
Does Diddy number 4 have lyrics, or is it just music? Is Levi making up lyrics, or is he like genuinely singing the lyrics, remixing them?
Haven't you been to Bard College? Duh, Diddy number 4 definitely has lyrics. It has a full accompaniment too.
My bad.
Gosh, Gideon.
Everyone knows Ditty number 2 is the only one that doesn't
Diddy's
have
not
lyrics.
asking that. Kaylee is.
You're a bard. Everyone knows Ditty number 2 is the only one without lyrics. Come on.
Yeah,
Mo.
and then Diddy number 1 is only horns.
Only horns, you said?
Yeah, only horns. You got someone doing the bass part that's literally like holding the horn up and just going do 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 to keep the beat. He's only using the horn to project it.
Because they don't even have like tubas or trombones. They just have like those long like flugelhorns I'm picturing. So it's just like the different lengths makes varying notes.
I would assume, like, well, that's the thing is the English cornet has been around for a very long time. So I would assume that the horn that they're speaking of is either a French horn or an English cornet.
Yeah, that would
One or
make
the other.
sense.
And they have valves, so bleep, 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 bleep. But this is Michael's world. He could easily just be like, nah, tube horn.
Gideon will go to bed as well. Well, actually, Gideon will go downstairs and he'll try to figure out how much money they made before he goes to bed. Take care of the financials.
We can let Oz do that. It's already ran a business.
Oh, well, I guess if Oz is in charge of that, Gideon would go to visit Oz. He's not asleep. Are you talking, Michael?
I think he stepped away for a second.
His mic keeps lighting up, but I don't hear anything.
Too much Sunny D and vodka. Try. Have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in?
These are the lyrics to Diddy number 4. We heard it once when we're coming down the shore.
Are you sure it's plugged in and turned on?
Michael, did we just lose our DM?
Did he fall asleep?
No, I don't think so. Like I said, he's probably either on a phone call or something, or stepped away for a moment. And his mic always
I hear
lights
breathing.
up.
I hear deep breathing. I wonder if he fell asleep.
I don't hear anything.
Oh no, he's dead.
We call him? Text him? I feel like he would have put something in chat if he was on a phone call or stepped away. It's what we need cameras for.
Right?
That was my impression of Levi. You can almost smell it.
Whenever I see his thing light up, I swear I swear I hear breathing.
And that also could be Robin leaning up close to the mic going,
Well, I will go use the bathroom real quick.
all this drinking in Diddy number 4. Tell Joe I have the exact same pants.
So he has the exact same pants as you, Joe. He said, yeah, we all do. It's a man thing.
No, I feel like I may have stolen his pants.
My mom got those for him. It was a 2-pack she got from Costco.
I have no idea where I got mine. I forgot. The way he just slumps whenever you pick him up. It's just like, okay. But he always has the face of just utter annoyance. He's just like, why is this woman doing this? Michael! I know you can hear me.
And with that, you'll see your staff smile and say, "Well, won't say no to that. Won't take you up on it."
What?
The workers will grab a quick plate as the bar is getting ready to close down.
What? We already did that.
Well, he did. The workers didn't. They were cleaning up, getting ready to close down.
You already said that they left. And like everybody had left, and then Levi went out for a smoke and we went upstairs.
I don't remember saying that part. You guys going upstairs and all that. Did I say that?
Yeah, you said it wouldn't take long for you to go upstairs.
All right, I did. Yeah, by 12:30, they're all done and they leave.
You said by 1. I'm so confused.
I thought that was all happening during the time frame. That is a me apology. But I'd say by 1, everyone's leaving. White skies have packed up and getting ready to go. Everyone shakes hand, and that's it. Is there anything anyone else wants to do for the end of the night?
I think Levi went out. I don't know how long you were gone, but Levi had gone out for a smoke, and then Marskin and Gideon went up to Gideon's room and talked about the situation with Sophia, and then everybody went to sleep.
All right, awesome. Well, you guys had your talks. You went to sleep. And today is a new day.
Huzzah!
Gideon's gonna check in with Oz to see how much they made last night.
Anyone else checking to see how much money you made last night?
I'm actually gonna go straight for checking with Davil and Davril and Yagra in the yawning portal, and then probably make my way down to the docks pretty early with Istrid to continue working with the Rough Riders.
Yeah. What about the other two?
Gideon's just gonna check to see how they did last night. Maybe chat Oz up a bit. Figure out what he was up to last night.
You'll see that Oz was doing some light tinkering, fixing a few things. But the money you guys made, looking at the books, with all the money taken out, including the 30% for Big Mert, you guys made made about 40 gold.
Each?
So you're dividing it, what, amongst 4 of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. 40 each.
Oh, that is 40 gold each?
Uh-huh.
Oh, shit. Damn.
Well, Gideon's gonna, I guess, tuck that away for the inn fund, because we need money to renew the contracts with the guilds later in the week. In 10 days.
Well, I just suggest we all just put 10% of our own cuts into a common pot that we use to pay for whatever needs to be paid for around the inn, be it staff or maintenance or whatever, and obviously if anything extraneous comes up, we can all dip into our own personal funds as need be.
Well, okay, so the total amount of money spent per 10 days would come to. Let me calculate. Find the calculator on my new computer. It would come to about 310 gold every 10 days to maintain our staff.
And if we made 120 gold or
160
100,
gold.
yeah, if we made 160 gold profit in one night, if we can keep that same average across all 7 days, that's, let's
10
see.
days.
Oh yeah, 10-day week. I mean, we could, 10% should cover that.
Well, I'm going to try not to spend mine until we, after the first 10 days, we can see how business is, perhaps, and then we can see how much of our money we will need to take as a cut to help pay those expenses. And after that.
And again, I'm already taking big Mertz cutouts, so you don't gotta worry about that.
Okay. Yeah, but I say we try not to spend any of the money we make for the first 10 days or so. See how much we make after the 10 days, see how much we have left, then we could just try and figure out what our budget is, if that makes sense. Sound good?
Levi's not there for that conversation.
Well, Levi hasn't even gotten his 40 gold yet. Took off so early.
That's fine.
That conversation will be had whenever Levi gets back. Sound good, Marskin?
No argument from Oz.
There is argument from Oz?
There is not.
Wait, we'd have to cut it 5 ways because Brutus and Oz.
Hell no. Oz is an NPC. He ain't paid.
Damn, what about your chef?
I thought their money was already taken out.
It is.
Yeah.
It was
exactly.
Leaf.
Staff has been paid. Oz is an NPC. He don't work here.
What about Leaf? Leaf works there.
I mean, if he wants money, he can have some. I figured he was getting hella tips. He's a dank-ass fucking bartender, dude.
What's he gonna spend the money on? He's a ghost.
Wow.
There's probably a lot of things he could spend the money on.
Johnny
Boy.
What could he possibly enjoy in his afterlife? He's a ghost. Damn. Gideon.
Successful first night.
Did we make all the money?
We made 40 gold each.
Was there any fights breaking out?
No?
Nope.
So what you're saying is my canvassing in the graveyard did great.
It almost didn't,
kind
but
of did.
We nipped it in the bud.
Good.
Which I actually just recently found out that phrase. I always thought it was nip it in the butt.
Nope.
Really?
It's in the bud.
Yep. Never knew that.
Makes a lot more sense now, doesn't it?
Yep. It's a gardening reference.
It does.
Never knew that. Made me feel real dumb.
Sorry, I missed the Satch boys.
Well, it's fine. You didn't miss anything but the rest of the night going off flawlessly.
Well, you're
You
about
missed a dope dance party.
Well, you might witness a really fun part here when Marston goes off to keep his when he goes off to keep his promise.
Oh, he's gonna get some.
No.
No?
He's gonna get something,
I'm not gonna lie. Out of character, I was really battling myself because I almost had Marskin try to exploit the hell out of Gideon to do that, but I was like, no, Marskin's a true neutral. He ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can help you out. for money.
Hmm.
Some will argue true neutral see money as their main motivator.
Marskin's after the knowledge. The beautiful, lusty power.
But yeah, there wasn't anything that really happened last night. Everything went off without a hitch, pretty much. In fact, there was even a dance party.
Yeah. Marskin, we might have to hire a manager eventually because I'm not sure we can all be here 24/7, you know? Every single
Yes,
night.
I definitely agree, especially if we continue to pursue our adventurous goals and whatnot.
And I'm not sure Oz would be very amenable if we just dumped that on him.
No, he might get a little grumpy with us.
Oz will nod along.
No fucking mind.
I am a helper, but I am not your manager. I've got a workshop to manage upstairs.
Perhaps you can find an empty building nearby and you could set up shop and work out of here.
I'm saying you want to take me out?
No, I'm saying that you will be able to sell your goods
Oh
from
yeah.
here.
Don't see why not. Bring more income into the flying flagon.
I believe there are stairs upstairs or stairs outside that lead almost directly up to your workshop. You could set up the your shop in the common room.
That's right. As you do remember, there is a staircase that leads up to the I guess the balcony outside his workshop. So, what's everyone got planned for the day after their grand opening?
Well, I guess earlier in the day, Marskin would want to go to Blackstaff to meet with that person that Merloon told him about, and then later on in the day, he would if he had time, he would probably try to go to the tavern that Sophia works at.
Okay.
Levi,
And for Levi?
he's gonna be doing whatever Istrid requires of him. But if there is a bit of downtime, so to speak, where he could kind of get her or get a chance to speak to her face to face, he does have a question. And he wants to basically would ask like you and the Rough Riders and the Zentharum are well connected throughout the city, yes?
Of course, being a segment of the Zentarum, we do have our eyes and ears everywhere.
This may come off as strange, but do you have any eyes and ears up north in Neverwinter?
Not really, though. We hear what everyone else hears, the main rumors from Neverwinter, but we don't have any real connections there. At least not the Rough Riders.
Well, if the name Hopkins comes up, would you let me know? If you had, like, if I'll happily pay for the information. Um, I'm looking for them. It's mother, father, and a daughter of this family. And got some minor business to handle with them. And
You'll see Istrid ponder on what you're saying. You know, you've been throwing your back out for us. If we get any information on that group, we'll make sure you're the first to know.
I would greatly appreciate that. And like I said, I'd be happy to pay for it if needed to.
No need. If it's a important enough group that you're asking for them by name, we'll make sure you get to hear about them. If we hear anything.
Thank you, Istrid. And I'll put my cigarette out and get back to work.
Keep blowing your back out there at work, moving those heavy crates around. And what's Gideon got going for the day?
Probably just hanging around the Flying Flagon, talking to Lee, sorting through whatever business is involved with the Flying Flagon, kind of taking up the pseudo manager position until they find somebody else.
We need new plates, we need new flagons, we need ornate flagons for the high-paying customers, little doilies to put the flagons on so they don't stain the table wood.
You guys just open up and you already want to renovate the place?
No, that's Kyle talking.
That's what I'm saying.
Just kind of taking inventory, seeing how much food they went and like food and drink they went through, that kind of thing, seeing if they need more frequent deliveries or and such.
Okay.
It's like general management stuff since he doesn't really have anything else to do today.
All right. Okay, so we'll move over to Marskin. He seems to have the most moving parts going today. And after you make your way out of Trollskull Manor, you have no problems making your way to the Blackstaff Tower. Again, the magic imposing tower is there.
Yeah.
As you know,
Kind of easy to spot.
that is the most powerful wizard in probably the whole Sword Coast. Takes residence there.
And I don't think Merlune ever actually told me who was excited to meet me.
He didn't, did he?
I guess I will just enter the Blackstaff, and do they have like a lounge desk area? Like a help desk?
No, they do not have a receptionist at the Blackstaff Tower.
Shit.
As you make your way in, you'll take note of how ornate everything is. They don't really have a welcoming area, but it does seem to be a pretty large common area as soon as you set foot in the tower.
All right.
You'll see a few Force Grey members moving in and out, conversing amongst each other.
Aw. I'm assuming nobody that looks familiar or anything.
You never really been there before, have you?
Oh, true, no, so...
No one really familiar to you. Definitely not Merlune hanging around. Again, you know he spends his time at the tavern.
Yeah, probably should have gone to meet him first.
It isn't long for someone kind of stops you and says, "Hey, something we can help you with?"
Oh, well, I'm terribly sorry to have to trouble you, but, a recent acquaintance of mine, Merlune Wardragon, said that somebody here was eager to meet me, I suppose?
The wizard will look you up and down. Huh. So Merlin sent you, huh? Well,
Yes,
we're not
he said
expecting too many
somebody heard
people.
about me and my party's adventures with Volo, and I guess someone is excited to meet me.
Hmm. You must be Marskin, huh?
Oh, yes, that's me.
Yeah. Actually, person's gonna ponder a bit. Hmm. Vajra shouldn't be too busy right now. She's actually the one that wants to see you.
Excuse me, did you just say Vatra, as in the Madame Vatra?
The one and only, the current Blackstaff.
Oh my! And Marshkin quickly starts like getting any wrinkles out of his clothes, trying to make himself look extremely presentable.
I bet Marskin wishes he had prestidigitation right about now.
I fucking hate it here. All right.
I'll make sure she's ready to receive you. If you'll wait here for me. At that,
All right.
the young wizard will walk by and make his way into a doorway.
All right. I will just I guess seat myself on the nearest couch or chair in their waiting area and nervously await the Blackstaff.
I'll tell you, it isn't too long before a young woman walks out. The first thing you notice is the awe-inspiring, gnarled staff she's holding on to.
Ooh.
And she'll look you up and down. So you're the one Volo's been screaming about all day, huh?
I'll give her a sort of a slight bow. You know what I mean? Like rich people do
Mm-hmm.
back in the days. And well, I'm not really sure that there's too much to rave about, but we have been helping him, yes.
Hmm. She'll hold out her arm. I'm Vajra. I'm the current Blackstaff, as you can see.
I'll kind of well, of course, and I'll shake her hand. Who wouldn't have heard of the illustrious Madame Vatra?
Oh, please, you don't need any of those formalities around me. So I
I
hear you have
mean,
interest in our group, huh?
well, of course. I want to be part of the Force Greys and work alongside the greatest caster there is.
Hmm. More flattery, huh?
Flattery. Oh, everybody knows the strongest work for the Force Grey.
Hmm. Well, again,
Besides,
you can drop all the flattery. We're not some noble house where you gotta kiss up to us. We're the Force Greys here.
well, in that case, if I'm being honest, this guild just looks really nice because it would allow me to not only attain the knowledge that I'm searching for, but also do it on my own time, do it on my own free time.
Of course, Force Greys boast some of the strongest spellcasters here in Waterdeep. You seem to be holding your own if you're helping out Volo, so it'd be honored to have you helping out amongst our ranks.
That easy? I'm so honored.
Well, if Volo's vouching for you, that gets you pretty far here in Waterdeep.
Makes me wish I had met him sooner.
Of course, it's not every day someone gets the word of Volo himself to back them up. So what is it you're looking to get from us?
Well, If I had to be honest, let's just say there is a family member of mine that is capable of quite a bit of power, and he has essentially tasked me with getting the power to best him and take his seat.
Huh. You want to elaborate on that? I'm dying to hear what it is you're got going on there, because not every day someone comes up with such a grandiose story.
Well, as you can see, I'm not like most people. Believe it or not, my grandfather happens to be a dragon.
It sounds fitting.
Well, he is quite the caster himself and very knowledgeable, but apparently he has seen some sort of end to his rule that he sees unfavorable, and knowing that I am gifted with the arcane arts, he tasks me with going out into the world and not returning until I can beat him and take his power.
I see. And so that brings you here within my tower, huh?
Well, I figured the strongest was a good place to start.
Well, I'll commend you on that. But at least got the wisdom to seek out the best mages here in Waterdeep. Tell you what, you can hang about. There's probably a couple of studies going on, and if anyone here needs some help, you'll be the first one to help them. Yeah.
Of course.
Okay. Well, if you can keep up with the wizards here today, I don't see why we couldn't find some other tasks for you to do for us here.
Oh my! Thank you so much once again.
No, thank you. Like I said, Volo speaks highly of you. I hope you can keep up with that high praise he's put on you.
Well, is there any chance you need help with anything?
No, you're fine for now. I'm just waking up and looking for something to eat. I'm sure someone else has been working all night, trying to perfect some ritual of some sort.
So do I just kind of walk around and go in any door, or?
They'll point you in the direction of someone else who's been working on a spell of their own. And you can make a intelligence check for me.
Alrighty. 1 second. Okay, try that again. Oof. A big
Your
old 5.
Well, intelligence isn't your main casting, is it?
Unfortunately, no, it is not.
Well, you stumble around and the wizard as you try to help says, huh. You'll notice you don't seem to be too eloquent in the magical arts. I'll ask you, you sure you're meant to be here at the Force Grey? Where's your spellbook at?
A spell book? Why would I need that?
Ah, I see. You're one of those innate casters. I don't know how you could help me if you can't read this. Tell you what, you spend the day with me, I'll give you a crash course on what's going on here. I'm doing pretty well in my research, so it would benefit me to take a break and teach a class, as it were.
All right, and I'll eagerly like pull out parchment and like a quill and ink, ready to take notes.
An eager learner, I see. Great. I'll make sure that quill is burning by the time you're done.
That's what I like to hear.
And with that, you'll be spending the rest of that day slamming that quill around, learning all the arcane knowledge you can from that wizard.
Jeez. Marshkin is on his way to becoming the greatest.
The very best, like no one ever was.
I was just thinking that.
Right, so what's let's see, Marskin is M. What's Gideon doing?
Like I said, he's basically figuring out what they went through last night, like how fast they went through it, if they need a new delivery sooner or later, and just stuff like that. Just calculating managerial stuff.
Well, as Gideon's going through the numbers, you'll hear a knock at the door.
Guess I'll go answer it.
And in it, you'll see a kind of timid man at the door. You'll see him adjust his glasses.
Yes, how could I help you?
This is the flying flagon, right?
Indeed.
Right, glad I made it to the right spot here. A mutual friend of ours, Mr. Mert, has sent me here to see if you guys needed any help after your first night. He understands that running a business is kind of a different task for adventurers. But fear not, I am definitely not an adventurer. And if you need any help with any of your boring work on the background, I am your man.
Well, that's very convenient. We were actually just talking about how we could use a manager type for when we can't always be around and such.
Well, I'm not the most imposing man, but if you need someone to keep the books warm for you, I'm here to do that.
That would be very helpful. Please come in. I will show you what I've figured out so far for from last night.
Thank you, thank you. And with that, he'll see what you're working with, and you'll see him grab at his collar a little bit. Huh. You guys had quite the run last night, I see.
It was more successful than we could have hoped for. We just have to hope now that business stays that way.
Oh, fret not. I've helped Mr. Mert keep a couple businesses running, so I have no doubt that I can keep a tavern ran by adventurers such as yourself keep going.
Adventure.
Tell me,
Well, we've been on one adventure, and not by choice. Kind of just stumbled into that.
adventurers are adventurers, Mert always goes on about, either by choice or by circumstance. Now tell me, is there any issues you have last night? Anything you think that might come up as a problem?
Well, we thought we might have a problem between the two gangs, the Zentarum and the Xanathar, but we managed. My co-owners managed to nip that in the bud before it began. Everybody seemed to be having a good time, no fights and such, but might be something we want to keep an eye on in the future if they keep coming back. Both
Oh, excellent.
parties.
I do know there has been quite the thing going on between them. Glad to see that it didn't come into a point here at your tavern.
Hopefully it never will, but I'm not that optimistic. Which is why it's nice that Mert sent security. That was a welcome surprise.
Oh, of course, I heard Mert put a good few gold coins in this place. The last thing he wants to see is that investment wasted.
Well, I would love to pick your brain about what hours we should be open. Do you have any experience running taverns before this?
Of course, you'd be surprised, but behind some general supply shops, it seems that adventurers love opening taverns. So I have helped with many a tavern before.
Well, we have an unusual situation in which our bartending is his unlife, and he can do it indefinitely.
I don't think I follow. It makes it sound like your bartender's what, a zombie?
He's a ghost.
Huh. And with that, you'll see him kind of yelp and look around.
Don't worry, he's very friendly. He could possibly be invisible. I guess he chooses when to show himself or not. So I'm not sure if Leaf is actually around. Leaf?
He's over around the corner and come around the bar.
Please, I'd like you to meet our new associate. What was your name again?
Excuse me, I guess I didn't introduce myself, huh? Loren. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I am Gideon, and Loren, this is Leaf, our resident bartender, and the namesake of the Flying Flagon.
I see. I guess that's a good reason to name the building. It definitely seems fitting. So, tell me, what kind of a tavern are you guys running here? What hours you're running, actually?
Well, I wanted to talk to you about that. Last night for the grand opening, we went from about 6 p.m. to midnight, but we were trying to decide if we should stay open longer, like what time, food should stop before drinks. If drinks could feasibly, if Leaf were up to it, could go 24 hours a day. But then we would need, staff around the clock, even if just a skeletal crew for the middle of the night and such.
You have room for lodging?
I do not think so. All of the rooms upstairs are taken by us owners at the moment.
I see.
Only
Well,
nighttime workers would have to traverse here, which could be dangerous, which is why I'm not sure if we should do it.
if you don't have the room to make a lodge, I wouldn't recommend trying to turn this into an inn of any sort.
Well, we just meant that we could have like 24-hour drinks and that's it. I wasn't looking to do any lodging.
Mm, I will say from experience, you do want to kind of watch out for the day drinkers. They tend to be the more miserable crew.
So what would you recommend? Perhaps open in late afternoon or evening and close late at night?
Well, you guys serve food, right?
Yes.
I'd say you guys start maybe around 11 or so. You kind of catch
The
the
lunch
lunch
crowd?
rush
Yes.
as it were. Then you can have your big bar time later in the evening like you want.
All right. And then we'll have to probably hire some more performers since the lights guys and I will not be able to perform for 18 hours a day.
Oh, of course. Lights guys are good, but you really don't want to have them working that much. You don't want to burn them out.
Indeed. Well, I suppose we might have to go back to the guilds. Let's see if I could hire some more performers. I could reach out to some people I know.
Well, you can leave that to me if you really want, unless you really want to do it yourself.
No, that would be wonderful.
Well, like I said, I've done many a restaurant for Mert, so I've got a little bit of practice with that. I'm sure I could find a couple acts that wouldn't mind rotating out during the day.
Yes, and then we wouldn't have to do all music. We could find some other types of performances as well to shake it up.
Perfect. Nice to hear you guys are open about that. Anything you don't want in your tavern?
Off the top of my head, I cannot think of anything, but I've never owned a tavern before.
All right.
Perhaps
Good.
no, nothing of the sexual nature. We are not that kind of establishment.
Okay. That narrows down a couple things, but it shouldn't be too big of an issue. I can definitely take care of that for you.
I would appreciate that.
Of course. It's what I do. And don't worry about trying to pay for my salary or anything. I can assure you Mert pays me well.
I would hope so.
I'll
And
tell you what, you leave the place to me and you can do whatever it is you want to do during the day. Mert understands how important time is to adventurers, so he doesn't want you to have to be stuck with the business here.
well, I would like to be involved here and there, as I do own the place. I don't know about how the others feel, but I'd appreciate all of your help. It definitely takes a weight off of our shoulders.
But of course, you guys went to Mert looking for a partner, and partner's what you found.
Right. Well, I suppose we should finish calculating this stuff out, and suppose we'll have to do this maybe every morning. We might be too tired after the night. So, say every morning around, 9, 10 a.m., we could sit down and try to work out the financials and the numbers.
Hmm. Sure, I mean, I know most places I run, they kind of do a weekly report, but I get it. You guys are in a freshly open place, so if you want to do daily reports, we can definitely get that going for you.
Yes, perhaps once we've been open a couple of weeks, we can go to weekly reports. But right now, I'd like to keep a close eye on how much we're spending, how much we're going through, so I can know how much I need to order. Or, well, I guess you would need to order.
Of course, you're the boss here. Daily reports it is.
All right. I guess we will get to work.
Perfect. You and Loren will go over what ledgers you have for the night before, and you'll see how the business is running.
Yeah, and once that's done, since I can't imagine that lasts the whole day, I think Gideon will kind of go out and kind of advertise some more, about the new times we decided on and such.
Okay.
Gotta keep that going.
Perfect. You have no
Networking.
problems doing that. Again, you and Loren won't take too long since it's only one night of business you're going through. I'd say within an hour you're done, and you can spend the rest of the day doing what it is you want to do.
Right.
All right, and how about Levi?
Well, I'm assuming doing the work with the Rough Riders is going to take a while. Pretty much an all-day gig. Um,
Pretty much.
Do I get any bonuses for, all the heavy crate lifting? Maybe a slight, eventually, like, buff up my strength score, maybe? No, but, that's kind of where he's gonna stay, for a little bit. I guess towards the evening, once I'm released from the Rough Riders, get bathed and relax for a little bit, and then I'll touch bases with Gideon and figure out who Loren is. And then after that, I'll probably make my way to the Zentharum hideout. See if there's anything, minor that I could probably take care of that evening for him.
Okay. Well, I'll say you'll start out by working at the docks like you usually do with the Rough Riders. I'd say you'll spend maybe half your day doing that. And then you can spend the other half doing the other things.
Okay. That sounds pretty good to me.
I wonder what Brutus would do on his day off.
Probably help advertise. I don't know.
Well, we'll assume he moseys around and does something. But day goes off without a hitch. You guys have no problems doing the tasks you want. I'd say at this point it's coming to early evening.
Would you say this is possibly like the 9th or 10th of Eleasis? Like, what day would you say this is?
Do you remember what yesterday's date was?
Not off the top of my head, because I remember it, like, we started the campaign, I think, at the 1st of Eleasis, right? And then...
Eleasis being what, August?
No, it's either June or July. I think it's June.
Pretty sure yesterday was the day just before Marskin attains true immortality.
Yes.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
Marskin's a far way off from true immortality, I'll say that.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. You're right. Eleasis is August.
I thought so.
Yeah, you're correct. I'm sorry. And then I know you said it took us like 10 days to get everything actually like set up for the grand opening. So it actually probably would be like the 13th or 14th, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, today would either be like the 14th or 15th, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds right. I'd say it's about the 10 days. Yeah, it's about the 12th, 13th.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a day off.
13th, and then tomorrow will be the 14th. For my notes, at least. Yeah, I mean, after all of that for me, if the Zentharum don't have anything, or even if they do, at the end of all of that, I would go back to the Flying Flagon and, perform minor security duty. I know Big Mert has it already taken care of. But, converse with compadres about our days.
Uh-huh.
And then just chill, because long fucking day at the docks.
Oh yeah, you're throwing your back out, moving all those boxes or crates.
You're gonna hate me for this, but every time you say that, I picture it's like the paladin with the oath of throwing it back.
No. I'm glad you said that when Eric's not here, because he would have had a visceral reaction to that.
Yeah, that guy, the paladin of throwing it back.
I enjoy some of his stuff isn't funny, other stuff it is. You know,
I think I forget the guy's name, but the one who does the Merlin content as well.
oh,
And Merlin's
what's his name? Noble Knight. Fuck. What is his
yeah,
name?
it's Noble Knight something. Fuck, Noble Knight Tim or something like that.
I love that guy. I love his shit. It's like
I don't think I've seen him before.
oh, we've got to show you that. We've got to show you that.
Some of it's actually pretty. A lot of it's.
A lot of it's what, Mitch?
Alright, I guess Mitchell got sent to another plane of existence.
Oh, I'm here. I like that. I said a lot of it's pretty cringy, but it's pretty funny.
I wouldn't even consider it cringy, honestly. Like, it's just how some people like it. Okay, maybe it is like Merlin, Noble Knight making Merlin playing D&D, and he's like, I move through the bar and I scan around the room for any Bawillas. Like,
Willows, yes.
yeah, it's like magical roll. Are there any Bawillas around? Like, magical roll? What?
Willows? What is that?
Beautiful women I would like to what is it?
He was like to play with or something.
No, it's not even that. It's more respectable because he used to call them milfs, and he was like milfs is derogatory, and it's like you're right. I need to respect the women, but Willas.
That's right. That's like one of the first ones my buddy sent me that turned me on to that guy's channel.
It's fucking funny. I've got a guard dog for some reason.
So Matt Mercer.
Well,
Yeah, go on.
campaign over.
Go on. Tell me more about Matt Mercer. I'm listening.
No, I'm gonna stop right there before a meteor kills Marskin.
Too late. Marskin's frozen solid.
The wizard he was working with got tired of his shit.
Here, drink
Speaking of
this.
Marskin, I would say you'd finish up your learning for the day around 3 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And with that,
Then
you have the rest of the day ahead of you.
I guess it's off to meet this Sophia person. Who all I know about them is her name and where she works, and that Gideon is into them.
I'm gonna describe to you what she looks like.
Okay.
Alright, guess you look around for the tavern she works at. Gideon's able to give you really good directions, so you don't gotta spend too much time fumbling around.
Yeah, I was gonna say because Gideon had given me the name of it, but I was gonna try to stop by the Flying Flagon and see if Gideon was there to get like actual directions to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Perfect.
but like I said, it takes you maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes leaving the Blackstaff Tower to find the place.
All right.
And as you make your way in, what are you looking to do?
Well, it's a tavern, so I guess I would just find myself a nice quiet spot at one of the tables and I guess try to order some drink. See if they have any wines.
Alright, perfect. A waitress will come over, not Sophia, guide you to a table and give you a drink menu, and I guess you'll start ordering your drinks from it. I will assume wine.
Yes.
Okay. It isn't long after you order before you're getting a nice glass of wine. I will say you will
See
notice that
Sophia?
Sophia's definitely about,
Okay.
and the tavern actually isn't that busy, especially compared to what you saw last night.
Okay.
It's busy enough, you could imagine, to keep the place open, but it's definitely not as big as what you guys saw.
I guess.
Breaking up real bad,
Not
bud.
like
Yeah, your mic's fucked. Fix it.
I just stepped onto my porch real quick.
Uh,
But I guess I will not like immediately, but I will drink that first glass of wine, and then Marskin will excuse himself to the bathroom. Well, excuse himself, he's not with anybody. He'll just go to the bathroom. And then he will come back, but he will accidentally happen to sit at a table in Sophia's area.
okay. I'd say with doing
Hoping
that, it isn't too long before you caught her attention. To come over and ask you what it is she can help you with.
I will ask her for another wine. Because we didn't really.
Yeah, it seems your porch is not the best place to play at. Because your voice is fucking up super hard.
Hmm.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, I would have asked her for another glass of that same wine that I ordered, and then I guess just trying to strike up like casual conversation. Just like, was a tough day out there.
Yeah, it was a pretty thankfully it's not a too busy a day compared to that party last night with that new tavern opening up.
Oh, that new tavern. Did you do you mean the Flying Flagon?
That's the one. You seem pretty familiar with it.
Well, you didn't happen to go there last night, did you?
Oh, well, of course I did. Anyone who's anyone went to it last night.
At that point, would I remember seeing her at all, at least briefly?
Mm, hmm. She wouldn't have stood out to you, but she would look vaguely familiar to you.
Yeah, I got you. Um, all right then. But well, that's quite interesting because I actually happen to be one of the owners of that establishment.
Huh, you don't say. Well, it must mean you're one of those, one of the ones that helped Volo out then.
Well, yes, but how would how would you guys know about that?
Oh, it's the talk of the town. It's one thing Volo does is spread his laundry out about.
Hmm,
Everyone knows about what happened with that.
interesting. To be honest, all we really did was slunk through some sewers for a couple of hours.
Well, my advice is I wouldn't downplay it too much. Volo's really gone about and told the whole of Waterdeep how great you guys are, so maybe embellish it a little.
Well, I mean, I guess you've got a point. Who would I be to turn down some well-earned fame and glory?
There you go. Speaking of, what brings you to a little tavern like this when you own your own?
Well, it's just been a stressful day trying to get into a new job, and honestly, I was on my way home in a pretty amicable state while some random passerby happened to exclaim very loudly, us should all just get out of town.
Okay, I heard the part where you said get out of town, but other than that, you started breaking up.
I said I was walking home and somebody on the street basically rudely proclaimed that all non-humans should leave town and are disgusting.
Oh, well, you must not have said that in front of too many guards. They usually don't take too kindly to inflammatory language like that. But I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
Well, I wish he would have been, or I wish he would have been near some guards, but it didn't seem like any other townsfolk were on board with him, which makes me happy.
Yeah, my experience here in Waterdeep is everyone's welcome. Everyone can spend dragons the same, so there's no reason to treat anyone else differently.
Well, that is quite good to hear. I would hope somebody as lovely as yourself wouldn't treat us non-humans that way.
And she'll blush a bit. I'm not that good looking. I'm just your average barmaid.
Oh, please. You've got to have a boyfriend locked away somewhere.
Somewhere, wherever he's at. He tends to
Oh?
get around a bit.
So you do have a special someone? Ooh, dish it.
I don't know. Why would I talk to him about? Why would I talk to him about it to you? You don't want to hear about that.
Oh, come on. Everyone's lives have importance, even the love lives.
Well, if you insist. Actually, me and him did go to the grand opening of your tavern last night. He's a pretty well
Ooh.
accomplished bard.
Oh, maybe I've heard of this person.
Maybe he tends to perform at smaller places that aren't as lucky as Waterdeep is.
Ah, a traveling minstrel, as it were.
That's right. He is Gideon the Traveler.
At that, in his head, Marston's gonna kind of be like, "Your disguised name is Gideon? Okay."
And might I say, he is quite the bard.
Well, I would hope so to capture somebody as gorgeous as you. Now,
Oh,
tip
stop
my
it.
glass of wine to her and take a sip.
Monsieur blush, but only slightly.
Well, I'm sorry if I've bothered you too much. I won't take up too much more of your time now.
No, please. Anyone want to talk about Gideon? That's always a favorite topic of mine.
And then, I guess with that, I would order one more glass of wine and just kind of like, talk to her about her favorite things about Gideon and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, she won't pull up a table to the chair, but she will tell you some of the things she knows about Gideon, about his traveling, performing, and especially going to places that are less fortunate than Waterdeep to spread music.
Okay, okay. Basically, getting the sense that she actually digs this guy.
Oh, of course.
He knows about its family as well.
Ooh, okay. But okay, so yeah, just getting
on.
a general positive vibe.
Of course. I'd say Gideon is quite the he's quite the man.
After, again, she's a waitress, so I'm not trying to like take her up for hours, but after that little bit of conversation, I guess I'll finish that third or fourth glass of wine, and I guess she's walked away to do her job again, and then Marskin would just slowly make his way out, take his tab, and
Okay, sure. With that, where's Marskin headed to?
What time would it be now? Probably about like 5 or 6-ish.
I'd say about 6, yeah.
Okay, 6 o'clock. I will head to the Temple of Mistra to do my daily prayers for knowledge and power. The Mother of Magic. And then I will return to the Flying Flagon.
Alright, easy enough.
Not exactly daily prayers, but you know what I'm saying.
No, I gotcha. What about you others? Anything else you want to do for the rest of the day before returning to the flagon?
I probably would or after working at the docks, I probably would have gotten back around the same time Marskin did. So
right.
I would probably, like I said, short conversation with everyone and make my way to the baths. And whenever I came out, then it would probably, or open up to, or I could, be open to more in-depth conversation. Just, well, how's everyone else's day? I can tell you I'm tired. It has
Quite
been
busy.
quite a long day.
Well, I had a great day myself. I met the Archmage of Waterdeep.
Really?
Yes, I did. She was apparently quite eager to meet me, and is apparently at least somewhat interested in our acts lately.
At that, well, I'll put my arm around Marskin and kind of like in that like friendly like head or almost like semi headlock kind of thing, and just I'm really glad that we've got you in our party, especially if the Archmage has anything good to say about you. Good on you, mate. Good on you.
I was quite surprised myself. I mean, the Arch Madame Vatra of Waterdeep? Who could have imagined?
I wouldn't even know how to pronounce a name. What about you, Gideon? You're awfully silent over there.
A lot on my mind.
Oh yeah, do spill. We got some drinks.
Well, somebody had to stay back and figure out what we made and the calculations and the number crunching and such. And so two of you ran off to do your own business.
Well, I do appreciate you
by the
spending
way,
that time.
By the way, Gideon, I must speak with you later.
Sure. By the way, for you, I already gave this to Marskin, but you get 40 gold from last night. And we were talking about how perhaps we should try to keep spending that money to a minimum for the first week until we see how much we make and how much we will need to take out of our makings to keep this place running from week to week.
As you hand him the gold, he'll kind of, hold the satchel in his hand and just weigh it or, toss it up and down like he's weighing it a little bit, and the smile will come across his face. And you know, this gold is going to help in more ways than one, and just help raising this tavern up. And he'll kind of sort through it a little bit and hand out 20 gold back to Gideon. Like, keep this as my share for the tavern. For now, I'm gonna hang on to this portion.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I will have to get this to our new bookkeeper, Loren.
I believe I met him just a little while ago before I went into the baths. Seems like a rather nice guy.
Indeed, he'd be very helpful. I am, math was not my favorite subject.
I know how that feels. It's easier counting the number of fingers somebody has lost than it is counting the amount of gold we've made.
But it will be very important. I am very grateful that Big Mert sent him.
Ooh, Big Mert sent him.
Yes.
Is that already compensated in the amount that we're paying Big Mert monthly?
Big Mert is already paying him. We do not have to worry about that.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure. Man,
And it is basically up to us how involved we want to be with this tavern. Apparently, Loren is very experienced in keeping Big Mert's businesses running, including many restaurants in the past.
well, I don't know about you. As much as it's nice to have a stable source of passive income, there's a lot of things that I would like to take care of.
Well, as a performing as my job, I don't mind spending a lot of time here. So I'll probably have a decently heavy hand in the workings here, but you are free to do as you wish.
Okay.
This is I've always taken smaller performances around town and around the countryside, and I still plan to do that, but I think it'll be nice to have a home.
Hmm.
You know, it just dawned on me that I can consider this place a home. The closest thing I've ever called to a home is some of the rooms over at the Beach Leviathan in Neverwinter.
It's been a very long time since I've settled down.
Aye.
Maybe it's time.
The only place I ever called home was the fortress my grandfather conquered a long time ago.
Wait, what? Pause. Fortress? What?
You just give them a look.
Well, of course. Where else would a dragon live?
Wait, what? Dragon?
That is like saying my grandfather is a cat.
Is he not?
No!
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I thought you were supposed to be the smart one.
You could visibly see Levi just like starting to try to put pieces together and like.
How does that even work?
Wait.
You guys do know I'm dragonborn, right? Like, this isn't a disguise. This is not a costume.
No, we can
Yes.
see that.
Well, most
Moskin, but-
Dragonborn, as far as I've experienced, their dragon ancestry is way, way, way back.
Well, yes, but when your dragon ancestor lives for thousands and thousands of years, they can make however many children they want, I suppose.
I had a different understanding than Gideon because I just thought you were just dragonborn. I didn't realize that your ancestors were the goddamn dragon.
Levi, the name of his race is literally Dragonborn.
But you just said you're a tabaxi. You're cat folk. Your grandfather is not a cat. So why would a dragonborn's ancestor be a dragon?
My name is...
Look, my grandfather was a dragon, my grandmother was an elf, they had a half-elf, half-dragon child who married a human woman, and they together had me, a dragonborn child. What do you not understand about this?
Did the dragon
All of it.
and the lady work? Wouldn't the dragon be too big?
The silence is killing me.
Lagged out. I said, what do you mean?
Did it fit?
Oh, well, I mean, I guess I wouldn't know that part. You'd have to ask them, wouldn't you? I'm not gonna ask my grandfather how he bagged my grandmother.
Okay, no, new adventure. Adding this to the books right now. New adventure. We have to go see Moskin's grandfather and ask him how the hell that happened. I'm not even drunk yet, and I still don't even understand this.
I really don't think this is that hard to understand.
It's pretty hard to understand.
A little bit.
Just physically. Dragons are so big.
They have human forms.
Wait,
do?
what?
Of course.
Oh my god. I don't. You guys can keep this magic-y
You act
wagicky
like
stuff
this
to
is
yourself.
common knowledge.
No, I'm good.
Not everybody is an expert in dragons.
What do you mean? They're
Look,
everywhere.
I'll put it to you this way, Moskin. I stab things, they die. That's as simply as I know it. This magic-y wagicky stuff that, dragons can be people?
Wibbly wobbly timey wimey.
Don't you bring that Doctor Who shit in here.
It was coming.
Well, that certainly is a lot to think on, and I've learned many new things today.
I will say, Marskin, I didn't state it earlier, but you were bidden to return for more studies tomorrow.
Ah, okay. Awesome. Then I definitely have plans tomorrow. With the same wizard, who I don't believe we even introduced ourselves to each other. We just got right to work.
That's right. He had you roll up your sleeves and get to writing. No time for formalities.
We'll introduce ourselves tomorrow.
If you remember.
Yeah, exactly. So this guy's mentored you for 3 months in the art of magic? What's his name? He must be a great wizard. He's,
Wizard 15
I was
at
just
Force
saying,
Gray.
Wizard 15A.
No, he's definitely got a name. You just didn't ask him for it.
Yeah, like I said, neither of us introduced ourselves. We just got right to fucking work. I just now noticed that. Love it.
Well, that's how wizards are. They're too busy for all the formalities.
Honestly, you're not wrong. The rest of the party finding out Marskin's actual grandfather is a dragon.
I mean, to be fair, not many families have dragons in their bloodline that directly.
Look, if tieflings and Asimor can literally have demon and angel fathers and mothers, I'm gonna have a fucking dragon grandfather. Okay?
And that's what I'm saying. Kyle understands that. But Levi, the fuck?
That's an accurate reaction to it.
Yeah.
It is, but that's my reaction when a tiefling says that, yeah, my father is a demon from hell. I'm just like, what? The fuck did you just say?
That's what we all reacted when Val said her dad was fucking king of hell, and we were like, I'm sorry, what?
Fucking what?
The whole party just, bitch, what? You know we're gonna kill you now, right? But then she was like, no, it's cool, and we're all like, okay.
We're just
You
here
get this pass.
We're just here to help some goods make it to Phandalin. You're a what from what now?
Yeah. It's one of those, that's 1 out of 3 strikes. I'm just gonna let you know that now. Marking it down on a notepad.
Well, Marskin, you wanted to talk to me?
Yeah, I did have one
yes.
question about that. With these private conversations, can we just all be included in this? Because now we all kind of are on the same page.
I mean, I could care less, but this is not my news or story to share.
If you can turn down the judginess, perhaps.
Gideon, you mistake me being judgy for being honest.
Fair.
It can be mutually the same.
Fair. Should I excuse myself then?
I suppose I don't care. Just don't be too judgy. At least openly, for my sake.
Let me get a drink in, and I won't be. And I'll chug my tankard real quick, and okay, we're good.
He just downs the tank. He's like, "That was my drink. Let's go."
Well, Levi, to fill you in, Marskin basically did a recon mission to see what Sophia would react to someone who is not human.
Ah.
I've got to say, you seem like quite a lucky person, Gideon.
Oh, great! Now I feel worse.
She, I don't think she even cares that, us non-humans aren't human at all. Like, at all.
Well, that's good. Just afraid her reaction might be a bit different when she found out that I am not human. I'm afraid
Well,
she'll think I've been lying to her, and she will not like my explanation.
to learn that you've been deceived by somebody is always slightly distressing, but as I told you the other night, if you you did, and it was not in an attempt to just directly lie to her, then I'm hoping she truly cares for you. And if I'm being honest, she called you her boyfriend.
And see, that's what I was telling you the other night, Gideon. If she truly cared for you like you hope she does, then what you look like is not gonna matter. What's gonna matter is the way you treat her. And obviously you treat her well enough for her to want you to come back.
I've got to agree with Levi here, because are you not Gideon the traveling bard that performs at lesser areas, one might say? Do you not do these things?
Everything I told her was true.
That's what she loves about you. From what I gathered, at least, she doesn't care what you look like.
We might.
Of course. She sounded so excited that you go and play music for the needy and give your money when needed and all this.
I
She
don't go
loves the
giving
person
away money.
you are. Well, of course, nobody gives money away, but she loves the person that you are, not who you look like.
We'll have to figure out a way to break the news to her as gently as you can in this sort of situation.
Well, also good news on that front. Well, again, it might be slightly upsetting or jostling to learn that you've been deceived, especially on something like appearance, entire appearance. But, if you were somehow to reveal your disguise to her and reveal yourself, I feel like not only will she now be able to accept you for yourself, but, she seems to be very keen on the members of Volo's party, as we are called. So, if you just tell her, hey, I'm Gideon and I work with Volo's group, I'm pretty sure she'd be quite interested.
Honestly, I hope she has not learned the names of everybody in this group because she may find it funny that Gideon the Traveling Bard and Gideon the Tabaxi Bard from Volo's group are,
One and the same.
yes.
Yes, I did have my questions on that. Your name is Gideon and your disguised name was also Gideon the Bard?
Well, when I met her, I was just fooling around in disguise. Did not mean to fall in love with her.
I understand, and it just kind of fell from there, as it were.
Yes.
If I might offer my 2 cents.
Of course.
There's a number of options you could do. First and foremost, barge right in there as you are in your glorious tabaxi self. And just introduce yourself again as the Gideon that she once knew and just see how she reacts. If she has issue accepting that, cast the spell that you use to disguise yourself right there in front of her. That way she knows. Or barge in there as the human Gideon. Say that you have
guard in every situation here.
Yes, you have to come in there like if they have those swinging doors and all that kind of good stuff, kick them open and be like, my name is Gideon. You have to be prominent about it.
I figured I could do it more privately.
Fine.
Like perhaps
I do have to say, apparently women do tend to prefer that dramatic flair, if you will.
like perhaps I could bring her back here when we are not open and somewhere nice and private and quiet to explain to her.
In my experience with women, give them a place, or don't push them into a situation that they're going to have to leave from that is uncomfortable. Put them in a place put them in a place that they are already comfortable.
My laboratory is quite quiet. Please don't touch any of my preserved creatures.
I didn't really want to do it in a super public place.
Well, she may be more comfortable in the back rooms of the awning portal, rather than or the bar that she works at, rather than here.
Again, my laboratory is often pretty quiet. Just please don't touch my preserved creatures.
I appreciate the offer, Marskin, but
I really want to
may
touch
have to
the
go with
preserved creatures now.
I think I may have to go with Levi on this. That perhaps I should just ask her if we could talk in a back room of her tavern.
Apparently laboratories aren't romantic anymore. Sorry.
I don't want to interrupt her workday with such a big truth bomb.
You know, the woman that I've been with for quite some time, the way that she handles things is more often you tell her the truth, and then she leaves with her family on her vessel for a number of weeks, possibly a number of months, and I never get a true response until she comes back. But most of the time, when she does make her eventual return, she's had time to think about it. She's had times to ponder over things, and it has honestly made our communication a little bit better because we're able to understand each other. And because of that, we're able to go for weeks, if not months, without even seeing a word from each other. Just
sounds awful.
Honestly, it's quite fun. I know she has her fun, and she enjoys living on the freer side of things. But she knows that she always has a home to come back to. She always knows that she has someone that she can rely on. Actually, I have a little trick. You seem to be kind of okay with magic. Maybe you can pull this off. And so, Levi's gonna kind of lean into Gideon a little bit and just a little bit closer, if you will. And so,
are you going to hit me?
No, I promise.
He side-eyes Marskin and leans in a little closer.
he'll reach up just behind your cat ear, like
You have to lean
like,
down a lot. He's
yeah,
very tall.
He'll show you that there's nothing in his hand, and then lean up or reach his hand up behind your cat ear, and then as he kind of pulls it back, there's a coin in his hands. I pulled this from your ear.
Neat trick.
It's a fun little trick that can at least get people's attention. And you'll when he tosses the coin down on the table, you can notice it's not a dragon. It's a coin from a different place.
What kind of coin is that?
It's a long story. Not really important at the point. It's just a coin that I keep as a keepsake.
Don't really see many of those around here. I do not recognize it.
It's from where I'm from originally.
Which is?
It's a place called, or it's a place way off in the. It takes a couple months of sea travel to get there, so. And it's been so long that the name even kind of slips my mind.
Interesting. Well, we are both strangers in this land then, eh?
But we make our home where we want them to be.
Well, depending on how Sophia takes it, perhaps this could be my home.
Better place than nowhere.
Nowhere is kind of fun, but it gets tiring after a while.
That it does.
Perhaps one day your partner will decide to settle down as well.
I don't think so. She enjoys the adventure too much, and honestly, that's part of one of the reasons why I love her.
But nobody can keep moving forever. I'm getting a little old for this.
One rule that we need to open up in this bar is we need to allow indoor smoking.
I don't think so. That's what the porch is for.
Fuck.
Well, think about if somebody brought their children in to eat a nice meal or something. They don't want a puff of smoke in their child's face.
It builds character.
Oh, come on, Levi.
It builds lung cancer.
What's cancer?
Marskin fuck is cancer.
I think that's a concept that hasn't been discovered yet. But at this point of the conversation, Levi will give a respectful nod to Marskin and Gideon. Good luck. And then he'll excuse himself outside for a smoke and bit of quiet in the stars. And I do have to take a bio break.
Well, to finish that earlier conversation, Gideon, if you would like some help with revealing this to your friend, then I would be glad to help. Just know that, again, this will not be easy, but we are here with you, my friend.
I appreciate it. I will just have to think on the method.
Of course, it's not easy to tell somebody you care about that you have been deceiving them.
Didn't mean for it to go this far.
I understand, Gideon. Trust me, there is no judgment here.
I think I will take some time to myself to think then.
As you should.
And, suppose I'll go up to the parapet and just look at the stars and think.
And, are we opening the bar tonight?
Yeah, we would have.
Okay, then yeah, then with everyone else up there, where is shit, I already forgot his name, but is he working with us already?
Oh, Loren.
Yeah, Loren.
Loren is taking care of that for you. The bar's already open.
Oh, he's pretty much doing what I was doing last night then.
Pretty much at this point, the bar's gonna run autonomous now, so you guys don't have to be a part of it.
I guess with that, Marshkin would just kind of have a glass of wine while making sure the patrons are all enjoying themselves and whatnot. The music is lively, all that good stuff, and then make his way up to his laboratory, study over his notes that he made with his wizard friend.
Yeah, Gideon would at some point come down and join in the entertainment if it's music.
Alright, awesome. I don't know about you guys, but since we're already past midnight anyways, I'd say that sounds like a good stopping point for anyone.
Yeah.
1 a.m., not midnight.
Has anyone else has more to add? That made its way to 1 a.m. that quick. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't even realize what time it was.
Haha, scrubs, it's not even midnight for me yet.
Alex.
I will let you guys know that you're getting towards the end of this book 2 segment then, so I wouldn't get too surprised if things start cooking along after the big drama's dealt with.
Cool.
Yep, I'm not gonna lie, after the research that I've done for the Force Greys, I was lightweight fanboying when fucking Vatra herself wanted to fucking meet me. That's cool as fuck.
It's no big deal. She's only just the Black Staff or something.
Yeah, for you guys that don't know, the Black Staff, not only is that basically the Archmage of Waterdeep, they are essentially one of, if not the strongest casters in all of the Sword Coast. The original Black Staff being literally a chosen of Mistra, my goddess, the mother of magic. And this current Black Staff is not only the youngest, but supposedly one of the strongest Black Staff to ever wield the title, and also the staff that she had, the Black Staff, apparently it changes throughout like Black Staffs. Supposedly she wields the true, like the original Black Staff.
Wow.
The fuck?
Yeah, no, she's a fucking badass.
And she was hand selected by the last Black Staff to be the successor.
Yeah, like the last Black Staff was on his deathbed and was like, this one is going to be my, well, not on his deathbed, but was like, this one is going to be my apprentice. And on his deathbed, it was like, you're the next. You are the one.
Believe in yourself. I believe in you.
Yeah, Vatra, I forget her last name, but Vatra is actually kind of a badass. She's like literally maybe, like, she's in her mid-30s, if I remember right, and she's the Black Staff.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah. She is extremely young for a Black Staff. Well, which is why she doesn't believe she should be the one wielding it.
Yeah, it was from the lore that I actually researched. I think it was like 2 days ago. That's when I found out she's actually the youngest of all the Black Staffs.
I would like to take a moment and applaud our wonderful DM for another wonderful session. Thank you.
Yes, that was a great fun session.
Don't applaud me for anything. All I did was sit back and let you guys talk.
That's the fun thing about RP based sessions. It's pretty much up to the characters. You just go with the flow.
Book 2 is all about you guys making your campaign what it is. Book 3 is when I start coming in and start moving things along.
Oh, so it's kind of like Prince's then. There's a lot of RP/homebrew type stuff that's got to happen, and then...
because once Book 3 starts up, like I said, things will start cooking along.
Wonderful.
But Book 2 is plenty of time for you guys to do whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I was curious with Prince's when Kyle was constantly saying, like, there's not that much direction in it. I've looked at some of the stuff from the books, and a lot of the part of the books literally say, okay, either your party can do this, your party can do this, your party can do this, or your party can do whatever you want to homebrew. Whatever seems more fitting for the story. They literally just leave a ton of stuff open-ended.
Book 2 has zero direction.
Yeah, and it's like, I get that, but at the same time, like, that's a weird way to write a story, if that makes any sense. You've got to give the party a reason to move forward, not just make them giving themselves a reason. It seems odd to me.
Well, book 2 has a reason why it does that. It wants you building your relationships with the factions and each other.
Well,
Way
that's what I
book
was saying.
3 makes more sense.
Yeah, for this I can get it because there's all a faction building. We have to establish ourselves in the city and all that stuff. I get it. But for like princes, it's like we're just supposed to direct ourselves into this world-ending apocalypse and what we should do. I don't know about you guys, but I've never fucking handled a world-ending apocalypse before. You know?
Speaking of the factions,
biggest,
I have to talk to you, Michael, about Gideon's thing.
right? Yeah, he's trying to work with the Harpers, so yeah.
Well, I thought we decided he was already a member of the Harpers, just really low ranking. But
Right.
if he's gonna settle down in Waterdeep, then he would probably try to take a more active role in that.
Okay, yeah, we could definitely talk about that to see what Gideon's doing to further his involvement with the Harpers.
Also super down because I just recently learned the Fourth Grey are basically like the fairy tale of guilds.
That's what they sounded like to me too. I was thinking about that.
Yeah, if you like read up on a lot of their lore, the Forced Grey or the Grey Hands, they most members basically do whatever the hell they want. The Forced Grey are only called upon when it's like basically truly world-ending shit, like truly shit that matters. This whole Zintharum versus the other fucking gang
Xanathar.
shit. Yeah, Forced Grey, no fucks given. That's dumb shit. That's low-level
Hey,
weak shit.
Anyways, I have to go. I didn't realize it was so late, and I was supposed to watch TV with Joe, and I think he might
Ooh.
be going to sleep. So,
Good night.
good night.
yep, take it easy.
And I will end the recording here now that I put it on the ending screen. So, good night, everyone.
Goodbye, Chad. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, as well as hit that beautiful bell icon, so you can get those sweet, sweet notifications whenever we post new videos.
Yeah, you are on YouTube, so I guess they would see all that kind of junk.
Yeah. Damn, Mitchell. If I ever get paid for this shit, then I need to give you your stipend, because you do better at fucking reminding everyone about this than I do, because I'm more likely just to be like, all right, good night, have a good one, and then end it.
Yep. I watch plenty of YouTube. You always got to sign off with it. You always at some point. It's annoying as fuck to hit those ads, but you always got to do it.
Oh god, that's the hard part. But anyway, signing off. Don't forget to like and
Good night,
subscribe and
everybody.
hit the bell. Haha. Good night.
Ow.
Bye.